There is no democracy. There is only IBM and ITT and AT&T and DuPont, Dow, Union Carbide, and Exxon. Those are the nations of the world today.
See, all I gotta be is what Jack said I was. So I don't give a deal about no buzz. I am about freedom. I never mind the chickens of the club. I will live and die for the cause just because. If I don't, I wonder who will. Y'all place value on your wheels and your automobiles and never acknowledge your children's diminishing skills or that they continue to fill all the prisons they build. My life is all God gave me to give. I want us to be free, but y'all would really rather I chill. Water blood and the slaughter is water and killing fields. You chopping and shucking, she stripping and sucking for the bills. All for the love, for the bread, cheese dough. Sell pills, we blow, let pistols go. Got coke from the country's gave crack to the Pope. And the government responds to it, just say no. Freedom fighting for the love they selling now on the low. And a man ain't fit to live without something he died for. I'm in his trunk with the rifle like I'm Lee Malvo. Y'all want a Sambo, well I'm Skip Rambo. Jordans and camo, white tees and ammo. Put the freedom in the kick snare and the sample. I'm Rambo, put the freedom in the kick snare and the sample.
Fuck it, then I'm shaft, don't have no ammo. No spook, I don't sit, I'll kick in your front door. Malcolm with a K or Mega with 4 foes. Ellis body 7, but we don't know what we fighting for. 5 and the 6, we bang on the wrong thing. Let's fight against the people that came and names changed. Transatlantic trips that lit, the bodies hang. Gang from a tree, and school to ship a key. You won't fight against the system.
Yo,
Back, man.
Q4 Radio.
In the words of knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. We're not promoting violence.
We just having some fun.
He's Scott LaRock.
And I'm KRS-One.
Never off beat because it don't make sense.
Grab the microphone, relax and not tense. Man, it's hip hop.
We back.
Back. Live.
Man.
In full effect.
Rest in peace of DJ Scott LaRock.
Scott LaRock.
I feel like KRS-One got whacker when he died. I feel like he became more egotistical, like I am hip hop. His beats were trash. I feel like Boogie Down kept KRS grounded.
Yes, I agree to that.
Yeah.
But you mean to tell me my philosophy?
Oh no.
By all means necessary.
Right, but he came out
ghetto
with
music, the blueprint of hip hop.
He came out an album called Spiritual Minded.
Now that was wiggity.
That was trash.
Wiggity whack.
I'm talking about that. The 90s, like late.
He was banging in the 90s. He has another Christian album called The Sneak Attack.
He should have kept that.
That album was Christian, and I was banging that album for years.
When you were a Christian?
No, I was an atheist, but I didn't recognize the messages. It was a sneak attack. I'm not even joking. I listened to that album for almost a decade. And one day I was listening to Sneak Attack, and I'm like, whoa, this is a goddamn Christian album. He
and
snuck
I'll
attacked
stand
me.
up next to you.
Yo, he snuck
attacked me. He hit you with
me.
some corny shit like that.
It wasn't.
It was corny.
It was a Christian album.
KRS-One
put out a Christian album, Sneak Attack.
I haven't heard one good Christian hip hop album in my life.
It's a good album.
In my life.
It's all what you say when you take a devil down. All is what you say when you take the devil crown. Stay alive. All things will change around. It's all Christian ideology, Christian imagery, Christian values.
So black people should love it because we love Jesus.
I was banging that album and I didn't even know I was being proselytized.
Politics and bullshit.
Yeah.
Wednesday evening, July 15th, 2022. We are back.
Holla if you hear us. If you have any sound issues over the air or over the stream, holla. Let us know. James is our on YouTube moderator, and he's Diesel. So if you get in the comments,
we sending you to
greasy
him,
and mad disrespectful, we got muscle. I was just telling you about the time I tried to mobilize my crew to jump
your gang members
to beat down
gang activity.
Yeah, and they wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it. It was too righteous.
It was the first and only time I ever called for a beat down.
You called on their goon powers.
Yeah.
And they said no.
So that was the start and the end of my thuggery. Yeah, that's her. I'll never forget that.
I bet.
Sage, EGOS.
They could have had a new recruit.
Al.
That could have impressed you enough to be like, you know what? I'm even more
I might
down
have kept
with y'all.
gangster.
Right, you might have kept.
Yeah, I was out with my homies one day and I see this dude I had beef with, like legitimate beef with.
Yeah.
And I told my crew,
on the basketball court.
Yeah, he
That's how
injured
you got
me.
the chronic back
Issues to this day.
Yeah, that's why we weren't on last week, because Diallo couldn't get up. His back was hurting, too tight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh crap! I need to make. He's not a moderator. We don't have a moderator on politics and bullshit.
We need a.
I got to make him a moderator.
You got to make him a moderator,
Let's
man.
see how that happens. I gotta see. I don't even remember how to do that. I think I gotta go on the thing and put the thing on the thing.
Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, Politics XBS. Please.
Yes.
Thank you all for your support. We missed you last week. I know you guys missed us, but we're back. The next 2 weeks, Brother Diallo will be in New York. So if you love God, pull up on Diallo and let him know what time it is.
Yeah, I'll be
because he'll be in New York. He'll be in Harlem. Even better.
Yep. Harlem. Yeah, come holler at me at the Harlem Juice Bar.
Yeah.
I'll be eating veggie burgers and vegan macs.
There you go.
And
have a
theological
debate.
I'll be at Dunwell Donuts with the Hasidic Jews eating vegan donuts. Dunwell Donuts. Shout out to New
vegan
York.
pastrami.
You know, I genuinely love New York. Like the corny T-shirt says. No, I don't love New York. They gentrify. Mark ass tricks.
You love the underground in New York. The soul, the essence,
the grimy New York.
What used to be New
90s New York.
Yeah, not dog.
I represent the Bronx,
dog and yoga park, New York.
Yeah. I ain't with that.
Yeah,
but I blame black folks for New York City gentrification.
Wow, let's get into
that.
I'm
blaming the victim.
Let's get into that. Before we do that, the next 2 weeks he'll be in New York, so we're going to try to do some sort of stream, in these next 2 weeks, and then we'll be back in the studio the first
when
week
I'm in these streets, regulating
in July
on the East Coast, regulating when I'm in the Bronx. Holding it down, son. I definitely will get access to the internet and regulate.
When I think of New York, the New York I remember is Shook One's Part 2 type New York. That's the griminess of that.
See, I didn't mess around in Queens. I didn't mess around in Queens. See, I'm more Tribe Called Quest, New York.
The Boulevard of
instinctive in the cipher, people's instinctive travels.
Yeah, Jarobi, your boy Jarobi.
That's my New York.
Who had 3
the
lyrics
Bohemian New York
on the whole album.
The
Jarobi.
East Village, New York.
East Village.
Yeah, the Cowrie Shell and Prospect Park Drummer Circle.
When you were
New York.
When you were writing your book of poems.
Yeah. So that's the New York that I'm from. That's I didn't do the whole Shook Ones, and I'm not a crook son.
Just a crook son.
Yeah. I was just there pursuing my betterment and my education.
It's all good, man. We got a good show for you tonight. A lot of topics, politics, bullshit. All
right, so I just made James a moderator. So we got muscles on both sides. I just made him a moderator.
James, you've been knighted. Sir Moderator of Forums.
Oh, we got somebody listening from Kemet.
Oh, that's dope.
Egypt.
What's happening?
Broadcasting from. Oh, shout out.
That's dope, man.
So what was you saying? Something just. Are we just gonna get to the? It's so much to discuss, man.
Before we get to the topic,
are we gonna start with politics or bullshit?
We're
gonna intersplice.
Let's intersplice.
Okay.
So before we start,
to get canceled. I got canceled before I got here.
We can't get canceled, man. First of all, we liberated. We free. You know what I'm saying? We don't got no sponsors. We're not sponsored by Popeyes. No. We can say whatever we want.
But we're trying to pursue sponsorships.
If you are, if it's a sound, community-minded business who would like to spend with us
and have us hawk your wares to our unsuspecting audience.
Hey.
You know what I noticed? Let me not
give free products every now and then. Hey, you do some ads.
Yeah,
come get your portobello mushroom burger.
A gentleman's club across the street from Whole Foods on Roosevelt.
That's a great community development.
Yeah, it's just been there a few weeks.
Wow, has it been crowded?
I haven't been there at night. I've only seen them during the day while it's closed. But I was genuinely surprised that there was a gentleman's club.
Well, hopefully they're being paid fair wages in there for their work.
Yeah,
they provide a great service to those who frequent those clubs.
Well, they work off tips. The dancers in gentlemen's clubs
that's why
actually have to pay.
They got to pay back at the end of the night. Yeah,
they got to pay to play.
I learned that from watching Players Club, P-Valley, other strip club themed TV shows in black media.
I'm gonna rise up. It's gonna be trouble.
Hey, Did you see the video of the Venezuelan president getting his ass whooped?
He's not the Venezuelan president. First of all, Maduro. The people love Maduro.
Yeah, but he's not the president.
Guaido. They like what
is the president?
Juan Guaido is not the president. The United States
Juan
Guaido
of America
is a traitor.
Him as the legitimate president of Venezuela. But he walked down the street.
That would be like
whooped his ass.
That would be like the Venezuelan government recognizing me as the president of the United States.
We only talk to Diallo. We do not talk to Joe Biden. We will only talk to Diallo Kenyatta, the newly installed president of the United States of America. Right. But I love the fact that they whooped his ass.
They whooped his ass.
Like he thought he was going to go into this restaurant, talk to his people, and they put hands on this man. And he was walking. They just kept bow, 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 bow. It was great.
Shout out to Maduro. Shout out to rest in peace to Hugo Chavez.
If only we charge up our politicians like that. We don't got to do it violently. As long as we just charge them up and ask them accountability questions. I just like that. I heard he's trying to steal the U.S. is trying to steal their gold and resources. The people are mad. They're mad that they got this puppet dictator and they beat his ass.
He's not Maduro, President Maduro.
He said he's the chairperson of Venezuela. 30-40 chairs to the face.
Yeah. So he's a usurper. Man. He's literally treasonous. He's cooperating with a hostile foreign power to overthrow the government of his nation. It ain't even his nation because he's a conquistador.
And he was throwing overright.
Let's get it straight. Let's get another thing straight about what's happening in Brazil.
Let's talk about it.
What's happening in Colombia, in Bolivia, in Ecuador, Venezuela. The native peoples are rising up. Remember, just like the United States, Latin America was invaded by the Spanish conquistadors who engaged in rape, genocide. Genocide. And the
shit they're good at.
Latin America is so racist that after the fall of the Third Reich in World War II, they provided a safe haven for Nazis.
Really?
Yes. They provided a safe haven for Nazis because many of the Nazi race purity and racial superiority ideas were already in play throughout Latin America and the United States, Operation Paperclip.
Yeah.
And so Latin America, many of those white Latin Americans got as much justified claim to governance in that land as white Americans do here. It is occupied land. It is occupied territory, foreign invaders, conquistadors. And I ask when somebody comes from Latin America, I'm like, are you a conquistador? What
do they say?
Spain. People act like Spanish is a native language over here.
You cannot find this on the internet. This dude getting his ass whooped. You can't even find it.
Really?
Yeah.
Curse the internet. But I don't encourage brothers and sisters in this country. Don't run up on
your politics. Run up on your politics. Don't fight them. Ask appropriate questions to hold them accountable for their motherfucking job.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do is ask the right questions.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to swing. We're not paying for your criminal for your legal fees.
We're not promoting no violence. We're just having some fun.
Right? Swing metaphorically.
He's Scott LaRock. I'm KRS-One.
Right. Swing metaphorically.
Right. So
he was ambushed by members of Venezuela's governing Socialist Party on Saturday.
Yeah. Whooped his ass. We beat his ass.
They whooped his ass, man.
I mean, but
his shirt was off. He was showing cleavage.
Yeah, but like I said, there's a hostile foreign power, a cabal, a conspiracy to overthrow the Bolivarian revolution, which is supported by the majority of the people in Venezuela. He is openly cooperating with the hostile party over 3 presidential regimes: Bush, Obama, Trump, and now Biden. He's been coordinating and cooperating with a hostile foreign power to overthrow his own country.
I saw you talking to somebody about Biden today. They were blaming him from gas prices.
Oh, yeah. Biden and gas prices. Yes.
You made a statement saying that do not hold the president accountable for gas prices.
Yeah.
Hold the multinational companies.
Yeah, I get it.
But he answers to them, right? Who? He's funded by them. He answers to them.
That's not how it works, though. That's not. I just think, I think that we just need to stop throwing these tantrums. We just need to stop throwing these tantrums and start to really engage. What I said was stop blaming high gas prices. Stop blaming Biden for high gas prices.
Right.
That's what all I said.
Yeah.
Stop blaming Biden for high gas prices. And I said, and start blaming Biden for the continuation of imperialist atrocities.
Yes.
For his failure to release political prisoners.
Right.
For U.S. rejection of international treaties and laws. Learn what is actually within the scope of the president.
Hold him accountable for what he can actually control.
Critique him for his actual. That's what really bothers me.
Because when you say increased funding to police departments, all that.
Well, again,
increased
he's not.
dollars?
No, he hasn't. No, he can't. The president does not control the federal budget. The president submits budget priorities to the Congress, and the Congress throws them in the trash. The budget and the monetary
some they throw in the trash,
nation,
some they push on the party line. Yeah. The executive and their ruling party always work together to push certain pieces of legislation and certain fiscal priorities. Come on, man. I was a lobbyist. I saw that firsthand.
Okay. But who's
you're
responsible?
Right. He does not control the purse, but he proposes a budget. Some get thrown in the trash by his own party, the opposing party. Some things that they work deals on.
But here's the thing. If you want to critique the president, Biden is an international war criminal, engaged currently in international war crimes.
And we stand with Ukraine as a country.
So why are we blaming him for shit he hasn't done instead of calling him out for shit he has done? That's why I don't understand. That's a legitimate question.
I think people are just frustrated. They see the quality of life declining.
What? That's on Congress.
Inflation, gouging.
That's on Congress.
Bullshit.
That's on Congress.
Yeah, but he's the head man in charge.
No, he's not. That's not how.
That things will remain the same.
The Congress is the most powerful political.
He campaigned on saying things will fundamentally not change.
Right.
That was his campaign slogan. But what did you expect from this guy?
Campaign is different than governance.
Yes.
Politicians say all kinds of shit when they get elected.
Yeah.
But once they're in office, there are certain things limited within the scope of their power and the scope of their office.
Mm-hmm.
It is the U.S. Congress that should be, well, really, it's not even U.S. Congress, it's multinational corporations. You know, it's kind of maddening to me. It's just, I think that it's just frustrating to me that people out here throwing these tantrums and not even identifying the real problems.
Well, I mean, it speaks to either just blind rage or lack of political education. But I do want to say that he was one of the few politicians who openly stated that things will fundamentally not change. He said it, and he's done it. Thank you. Also, he told you if you did not vote for him, you were not black. Biden was just saying a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't vote for Biden, and my credit score immediately shot up. I started developing a craving for casseroles and Nutella.
One of my most frustrating
I went
days.
out and bought a pair of Skechers. I just, man, my blackness I lost it. It took me a while to reclaim it because I didn't vote for that SOB.
I didn't vote for him either.
So, yeah, I lost my blackness. He was true. He didn't lie about that. That's one of the promises he kept.
So your critique is make sure that when you are criticizing politicians, make sure you're criticizing them for things that are in the scope of their job and responsibilities.
If you are publicly criticizing, if you want to just sit at home and say, I hate Biden, so do I. If you want to put up a dartboard and throw darts at Biden's image,
I'll throw them with you.
Go for it. But the moment you are motivated to go out and articulate your frustration publicly, I think you owe it to other people within your sphere of influence to be accurate in your assessment.
Precise in what you say. One time I was doing Doors for Obama in 2008 in Gary, Indiana, and I had to have a 20-minute conversation with a voter, an older black lady at the door. Her street was fucked up, potholes, burnt down houses. So I understood where she was coming from, but she was telling me what is Obama going to do for the potholes on her street.
Right.
And I said, ma'am, respectfully, those are local issues that you should talk to your local alderperson, local county, however your local government is set up in your city. You need to talk to them about street improvements. That is not the function of the president of the United States. I said he will fund infrastructure projects, give money to states so they can give to cities for, Department of Transportation type projects. But how those monies are allocated and where they're allocated, that is on your local council person.
Right.
She didn't want to hear it though. She still slammed the door because she was just frustrated.
Then you should have just said to her, Obama's going to fix the roads. Just lie. You on the Obama payroll.
Hey man,
you taking that blood money, get do your job.
In politics, I honestly tried to operate as a champion for the people. So I did not do those types.
So you don't lie to the people.
No.
And my thing is,
you tell them the truth.
My thing is, when you're inaccurate in your critiques of politics or complaints about what's going on in the political arena, you make people ripe for exploitation. You make people ripe for exploitation.
It's misinformation.
And that's what upsets me. So if people are out here blaming Biden for gas prices instead of blaming OPEC, instead of blaming the multinational fossil fuel corporations, instead of blaming Congress, and Biden literally, when it comes to gas prices, has done literally everything within the scope of his office. He's opened up the national petroleum reserves. He has used his bully pulpit to encourage both Congress to take actions, and the Republicans blocked any type of congressional move on gas prices because the Republicans think, and maybe they are right, that the general public is stupid enough to blame the president for high gas prices and thus either vote for Republicans or abstain for voting in the upcoming midterm elections. And so you are being nakedly and publicly manipulated through gas prices,
right?
And instead of directing your outrage at the source of the pain,
at the source of the problem, you go to Biden.
You just not. It's to me, that's my issue with it. I'm not trying to encourage love for Biden, but I just would say Biden is an international war criminal who should be taken to The Hague,
right,
and put before a war crimes tribunal.
Right.
That's his job. Biden is not a gas price inflator. What he is much worse.
He doesn't control the petro.
I would rather the community just be accurate in
their analysis.
We got so many reasons and motivations to hate.
Yeah.
Just be accurate, because I am a hater, and I'm
a proud hater.
I take hating very seriously.
Yeah.
And if I'm hating on you, I ain't gonna hate on you for something you ain't did. So, hate is very precious to me.
It's a precious resource.
Right. I am a hater innovator. Yeah. So if you're going to be a hater, just take it from a professional hater. Be precise. Be laser focused in your hate. That's all I'm saying.
I dig it.
So
it's a good lesson.
Yeah.
To the masses.
And stop forcing me to have to defend Biden. And I'm not defending Biden. I'm actually defending facts. I'm on the side of the truth.
Ashe. Well, there you have it, straight from the camel's mouth.
Right. Oh, and
blame
John
the appropriate
says,
people.
People can't make real decisions unless they know what's really happening, and that's
why. That's true.
Right. So
that's why we're concerned with Blue Ivy going to a basketball game.
Are we about to talk about Blue Ivy?
Yes.
Our class.
It's black news. This is black news, man.
Blue
Ivy. If you all do not know, since I had to suffer from this knowledge, you must suffer from this said knowledge. Blue Ivy, the daughter of Sean Carter and Beyonce Knowles, was at the Chase Center for the Game 5 finals matchup between the Golden State Warriors
and Golden State's in it again?
And the Boston Celtics.
Damn.
They're up 3-2. They close out hopefully tomorrow on Thursday.
They building what you call like a legacy.
They are. They're a dynasty.
A dynasty? Is that what y'all call it?
Yeah. Jay-Z was there with his freeform locks, trying to look like Basquiat, and his daughter was there rocking a Michael Jackson jacket, hair free, curly, don't care, and the black community swooned, shared pictures and photographs, celebrated the matriculation of this young, beautiful girl, and it begs the question, why? First of all, I think it's weird just sharing pictures of other people's kids. I don't, that's just weird. If somebody just started sharing pictures of your children, saying how beautiful your kid was, you would feel weird about that. That's the first thing. The second thing is Beyonce's not your auntie. She's not your cousin. She's not your best friend. You're not going to sit down and sit and and glean any information from her. She's an entertainer. She's
There's
a product.
E40.
She sells a product, but people were quite enamored with the fact that Blue Ivy was at the game. Like, kids don't go to, first of all, kids go to basketball games. And I just think sharing pictures of other people's children and commenting on them, because I remember a few years back, the black internet was ablaze because of how Beyonce chose to style her hair. I remember, and people were crazy about that. And what made me angry was, if you ever told a black mother that you didn't know how to style her baby's hair, she would fire on you. Like, that's a violation.
I think there's a point we have to acknowledge.
Because
Blue Ivy has been in the public arena,
due
to her parents being two of the most famous black people who ever walked the face of the earth since Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She has been criticized and mocked and demeaned for her Nubian features, for her African hair texture.
No doubt.
And there's this theme out here where they say children are off limits.
Yeah.
Now, I had said, it probably got past you, that she's a class enemy. This child is a class enemy. Now, my issue with it, what blows my mind, because I think I'm glad the black community can rally around someone. But Beyonce, number one, said that she is so rich. In one interview, she said, I'm so rich that generations of my offspring are going to govern and rule over generations of your offspring. Bow down, bitches. Y'all remember that song?
I remember that song.
And
she was talking to her fans.
And for generations.
She called her fans bitches and told them to bow down.
And Jay-Z wants to be Rockefeller. He wants to be DuPont. He hangs out with Forbes.
Yeah.
He wants to have a capitalist black bourgeoisie dynasty. Now, we could believe that Blue Ivy, who has been raised up in the lap of luxury, that when she becomes a young adult, that she will commit class treason and hold solidarity with the struggling masses of oppressed people across the globe? Or will she continue in the veins of managing the wealth she would inherit and sustaining the unjust, imbalanced systems that allowed her and her family to amass so much wealth? My thing is, if you ever get in your mind to defend a child, don't make it a child of a billionaire. People are typing on phones that have coltan and other rare earth minerals mined by African children.
Mined by children.
Manufactured by Chinese children.
But they're the poorest, so they don't care about that.
And literally people are walking around the south side of Chicago, stepping over the corpses of black kids, texting, defend Blue Ivy.
Just to get to the bus station.
So it is not, I don't believe them when they claim, they say children are off limits.
Rich children.
You know, they voted for Biden and Obama, who were bombing children all over the underdeveloped so-called third world.
First president with a kill list.
So it's just, what's weird to me is not people being into celebrity children. Ever since, what's that little Shirley Temple? People aren't going to be into celebrity kids.
Still weird.
But at the very least,
some weirdo shit.
Don't pride yourself. If you're going to get out here and bang for Blue Ivy, you know, to me, I ain't going to defend nobody I can't walk up to the street and say hello to without being tackled by a team of security guards. I'm not going to defend you if I can't even engage with you on the street level. Yeah. If any of you people out here defending Blue Ivy try to walk up to her and let her know how you fighting hard for her online.
Blue Ivy, I'm for you. I'm with Blue Ivy. I'm with you.
And you
don't get stumped.
Rushed.
Remember that dude
to a bloody pulp.
Remember that guy that tried to beat up Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had his elbow bent back.
Right. You're gonna be up here pop locking.
Your shit gonna get rocked.
Right. So it's and so I'm just saying that to say Blue Ivy don't need your defense, don't need your caping, don't need your help
or your thoughts and prayers. She's fine.
Spirit so inspires you to speak up on behalf of a child, a black child, contact Bro Diallo, and I will send you a list of children that are worthy of or in need of your vocal and public advocacy.
Or go outside, engage with your actual community in real life, and deal with the children there.
You watch ball chasing. How much is a court?
I don't watch it. I don't watch it as much as I used to. I want to be clear there, man. I want to be clear. I do not watch it as much as I used to.
Okay. Now that disclaimer is out the way,
thank you.
Can I
Let's
ask
be
you,
precise,
as our resident,
Mr. Scientific Man? Let's be precise.
As our resident ball chaser fan,
I'm not as a resident ex-ball chaser fan.
So you're no longer a ball chaser fan.
No,
I didn't know the
I casually
Warriors
watch it.
Who are the Warriors playing against?
The Boston Celtics.
Wow. Okay.
I am a man of the people. I must be apprised of what is happening in my community.
I can name a Boston Celtics player.
Name one.
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can name. Wasn't that
He's been retired for a while.
No, there was another dude. Kevin
Bill
Garnett.
Russell, Kevin Garnett. Paul Pierce.
I don't know him.
Okay.
Kevin Garnett was a Celtic.
Yes.
But he was a Timberwolf before that.
He was.
See? Manhood, man.
And he came from the south side of Chicago.
Montings. Let's just switch the whole formats to sports talk. Now,
it's not that interesting.
How much are ringside seats at a playoff game? How much that costs?
It's probably tens of thousands of dollars. No doubt.
To sit, if
thousands
I wanted to
to
sit,
10,000s of dollars.
If I wanted to sit to the left or right of Jay-Z,
there's some change.
It would cost me $10,000. That's something.
Yeah, there's some change.
Money that could be life-changing for some people.
Those are seats you don't want to miss that game.
Them is fold-out seats.
Yeah, when you're sitting there, breathing, touching, talking, feeling important.
Yeah. I this child,
she's the golden child. Remember the movie Golden Child with Eddie Murphy in the 80s?
The golden
Blue
child
Ivy is the
was
golden
poor.
Child.
He was a monk who had taken a vow of poverty.
She has taken a vow
of poverty? Right.
Yeah.
So, she's
the platinum child.
Look,
talk about
Beyonce told y'all. Didn't LeBron James just tell y'all about having faith in these celebrity kids? Y'all was just mad at Bron. Who you think Blue Ivy's gonna take the prom?
That's true.
What area?
Oh man,
Blue Ivy right here, because she's only going to boarding schools and around elite. And the only child that I've ever said some off-color things about public was probably Barron Trump.
Oh,
I said some things.
Despicable things.
And I didn't go too hard, but his father is a eugenicist. He believes that you can breed perfect specimens.
Oh wow.
And that's why he picks his wives not based on their emotional or intimate connections. Donald Trump picked his wives based on their breeding stock, their genetic lineage. And so
what them hips talking about?
Barron Trump allegedly has some disorder. No. That's alleged. Back in the day, they said he was maybe on the spectrum or something.
So he's imperfect,
right? He is a flawed specimen.
He's a flawed specimen.
So I talked about that in eugenics and the absurdity and evil of eugenics.
Robin Harris would call him a test tube baby.
Something like that. Baby. So yeah, I said some greasy things, and nobody got online and defended Barron Trump and told me that kids were off limits.
He's a Republican, so they don't care.
Oh, Republican? You don't think Jay-Z votes Republican?
First of all, I want to be clear. Republicans are the reason why everything's bad in this society. It's Republicans. That's the first thing. Second thing is Jay-Z. Most wealthy elites give money to both sides. That's known.
I didn't ask you who they give money to.
Well, if they give money to both sides,
I asked you who he voted for. He only gets one. You can't vote for both sides.
No, they give money. Rich people vote with their money.
I didn't know they don't. They don't vote with their money.
Yes,
you're not going to answer the question.
Yes, they do.
If I put an autograph rookie card of Steph Curry here on the table, and I said, if you accurately predict who
I don't have Jay-Z's voting record handy to let you know what he votes for or doesn't vote for. What I'm saying to you is that wealthy elites like Jay-Z give money to both parties. They protect their interests. They cover their ass.
Okay.
That's what I said.
All right.
So more than likely, as a capitalist, he supports whoever's in power at the time.
Bullshit, man. You just playing. You don't want to offend Jay-Z.
I don't have any.
For that phone call.
I
don't want to say nothing bad.
I don't have any kinship to Jay-Z. I'm just saying. I'm saying more than likely he plays both. More than likely he plays both sides. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't ask you what, but when does he vote? Number one.
Sure, he votes.
When he goes to vote,
he's an upstanding citizen of this country.
When he goes to, but you're not going to answer the question. I'm not going to ask it again. But I'll just say, Jay-Z most likely votes Republican, regardless of them giving money to both parties. We can look policy by policy, platform by platform, administration by administration. Which administration?
I'm sure you
more. No, let me say this.
Okay.
Which political party in this duopoly is more friendly to the elites, to the wealthy? Which one? Which one receives more support from the elite and the wealthy? More billionaire support which party?
The Republicans.
I know it hurts you to say
no,
that.
No, it doesn't.
It sounded like
but
it.
There are billionaires who also support Democrats. And most of them will put money on both sides. I'm not talking about the Koch brothers. Those are the extreme radical conservatives.
I'm not talking about the Koch brothers either.
But I'm talking about corporations. I've seen chambers of commerce at a local level endorse Democratic candidates. I've seen that. And usually they support Republican candidates. So I've seen them play both sides, and I think rich people vote with their money.
I understand that. I understand all of that.
And I think it would be a worthy endeavor if somehow we could get the public voting records for these celebrities and really see what they are voting. I think that would be a worthwhile political project to show people exactly what they're doing. But I don't know what Jay-Z does in the voting booth.
That's speculation. But now there's some things we don't have to speculate about. When it came to the tax cuts for the wealthy under the Trump administration, when it comes to deregulation of multinational corporations, even when Democratic administrations like the Clinton administration, there were several major legislative reforms, right?
Yeah.
That the Democratic president of Bill Clinton sided with the Republicans against the majority Democrats.
Yeah.
Like the reform of investment banks that gave us the 2008 crash.
Yeah.
So we know, you can say all that you want, but we know for a fact that the Republicans are more valued, more openly supportive, and collect more money from the elites than the Democrats, because their party is the party of the 1%.
That's not what I said.
Huh?
So I agree with you. That's not what I said.
I
agree with you.
Right. So being a billionaire, if you were a billionaire, it would behoove you to support Republicans.
If I was a billionaire, I would play it totally different than they do.
What would you do?
I would live on an island with Nia Long, Jill Scott, and have unlimited watermelon, Hennessy, weed, and just chill. Like I don't get them. I don't get the whole rat race of wanting more. At some point,
that's why you'll never be a billionaire.
You should be content with being comfortable, being secure. Like, I don't even understand that. I would just be like, you know what? I've made enough. I'm not going to use all this. I'm out. I'm done with this shit. Stressful. That shit seems stressful. And then you turn it around and you have to do Bitcoin camps at the Mercy Projects with Jack Dorsey.
I can't keep up with you.
Oh man.
We don't
got to go into it, but I'm just saying, like,
what are we talking about Jay-Z? Let's talk about Jay-Z's solutions for the Black community.
First of all, he said gentrify your own neighborhood, first and foremost,
which is absurd, and buy up the block.
I remember saying that. I said, so as long as Black people are displacing other Black people, it's okay. I said, the word gentrify, do you know what that means? Like, that's not the word to use, even if you're talking about buying up your block. That's not the word to use.
Oh, so you are willing to talk greasy about Jay-Z?
Yeah, Sugar Burger said I'm still looking for my invite to the Jay-Z's cookout. Jay-Z's his Easter party. That's hilarious.
So Jay-Z is setting up.
I'm not a Jay-Z fan. I simply said they play both sides.
You're not a Jay-Z fan?
I used to be when I was younger.
The hustle.
When I was younger.
To that day, see, I'm the one who's crazy.
That's a great song, by the way.
Because of the way you're making me feel.
But it's tough to listen to his music now. It's pretty shallow.
Trying to get mine. I don't have
no time to knock the hustle for real. I'm making short-term goals. Yeah, man.
With enough bail money to free a big Willie.
Yeah, Sugar Bug, I be chilling. Sanaya Lathan, come see me. Room 112, where the players dwell. Yeah.
All right. So don't come on here fantasizing about infidelity.
This brother, man.
Do that on your own time.
You know what? We not. This is class betrayal, right?
How so?
You betraying me, man. What are you talking about?
You
I just said if I was on, if I was
to an island with Jill Scott.
Come on, man.
You know, if I had $1 billion,
I can afford many wives at that point. Come,
if
it's not cheating. You all married. We all married. We all raising these kids.
All right. Oh, you just
know what I'm
work
saying?
through this fantasy on air. We're all subject to your fantasies. Can we talk about Jay-Z's solution for Black people?
Yes. Jay-Z
wants to encourage financial literacy, and he has teamed up with the scumbag parasitic billionaire CEO of Twitter to found a freaking
Bitcoin
Academy.
Yeah.
And he's going to go to the Marcy projects, and he's going to give free classes that instruct the poor Black youth, the young Black youth, teach the truth to the young
youth
Black
are the truth.
Youth. He's going to educate young Black people in this crypto academy about Bitcoin and blockchain technology, which he's trying to eat off Wise Intelligence plate.
Who?
Wise Intelligence been advocating that for years, and here comes Jay-Z to bite off. He's a biter.
He is a biter.
He's a biter.
I'm not a biter. I'm a writer for myself and others.
Right. And so he's going to go tell people who have no money, that if they had money,
if you have money, you should do this
in a rapidly destabilized and collapsing Ponzi scheme that is crypto.
Right. Why didn't you do this when crypto was profitable? First of all, you shouldn't do it. And if you're going to do it, why would you do it when the currency is being destabilized and decreasing in value? It's crashing. And people are losing money.
And if you sign up for these free classes, you have to be impoverished in Marcy's projects. You will have classes like, what is money? What is cryptocurrency?
Do you have a checking account?
Blockchain?
This is how you write a check.
How to keep yourself safe from scammers. And they will be given free
devices, smartphones, and a year's worth of data to help them follow along with the lessons.
So it's online. So I mean, it's going to be open before Umar's school.
And they just promoted the MacBook.
Can you imagine? I have one son that already graduated high school without ever being able to go to the Umar Academy. But now imagine if you could get your child to do the regular school years at the Umar Academy, and then over summer go to the Marcy Project Bitcoin Academy. You have an alpha male, heterosexual,
cis heteronormative,
financially literate, multimillionaire revolutionary on your hands.
You would have Marcus Garvey combined with Gordon Gekko.
Right. So that's what
money never sleeps.
Right. So that's what it is. He's about to get people in, but
he also gentrified his own neighborhood, tagging on to the new Barclays Center when the Russian oligarch bought the Brooklyn Nets.
Right. And then he claimed he was
an owner
a stadium, and then he sold his 2%.
He sold his
back,
point, and then it came out was like 0.001%.
And he sold it back.
But he was going around saying he was the owner in songs.
Brooklyn Nets. But I can't be mad though.
Can't knock the hustle though, right?
He brought a Whole Foods. I was sick of going to the Park Slope Food Co-op, eating out of wooden barrels. Hey,
I want to say something about Whole Foods. They got a good vegan pizza.
A Whole Foods.
They got good vegan pizza.
So I mean, it's worth this place.
It is.
Some poor wretched of the earth.
It's The Rock. Holla.
So shout out to Jay-Z for putting the damn Whole Foods in that Barclays complex.
He's done so much.
Right off Atlantic Avenue. I never in the wildest dreams
Black people
that I could get me my soy milk, my tofu, my Uncle Eddie's vegan peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, my Justin's vegan dark chocolate peanut butter cups right on Flatbush.
Man, you keep talking about them peanut butter
Flatbush,
cups.
son.
Why don't you bring one? So
up the street from where Biggie Smalls came up, where Biggie Smalls was hustling.
Bring your vegan peanut butter cups in July to our next live show.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring Reese's and I'm gonna do a taste test.
No, I can't, man.
No, I'm gonna have Reese's and I'm gonna taste yours.
But I can't eat yours. How's that fair? But I'll do it.
Can't knock the hustle.
I'll do it.
Black people, we are not going to financially.
Kit Kat, so I think we're on the verge of a vegan Reese's. I think we're almost there.
You mean a vegan Kit Kat?
They don't sell the vegan Kit Kats in the U.S. though.
Really? Why not?
They're overseas. I think it's a pilot program. But bless you, man. Once they come out with vegan Reese's, I think my fight will be over. I think I'm just gonna go to that island where you're gonna be holding me along against her will.
You can have your own,
and where you're gonna have Jill Scott against her will while her husband's trying to shoot you. I'm gonna go to your chaotic billionaire island and put my feet up.
It's gonna be peaceful. It's gonna be peaceful, tranquil. I'm buying them out. I'm buying them out their contracts. How much do you need me to buy your wife?
Rich bidder wants you,
and your husband can't do nothing for you.
I guess. Good luck with that.
Yeah, how much you need?
I can't even talk.
A Maserati?
I know you will forget me.
No, I got you.
You know, I'm a big fan of Ford Motor Company. You could just give me like a Ford Edge.
Let's go.
A Ford Edge. I mean, if you hit the money.
We are not going to financially.
I didn't say Reese's is vegan. I said they're going to make one within my lifetime.
In his lifetime.
I didn't say they were currently vegan.
Yeah.
I haven't had a Reese's in like 30 years, man. And I used to eat like 4 a day.
I love
and
chocolate
not 4
and peanut butter.
Cups, 4 packages. Anybody that went to Bishop Hogan High School
They're
knows.
Delicious. Bishop Hogan.
I was strong. I was sprung. Okay,
peanut butter and chocolate is a great combination.
So do you think do you support Jay-Z's Bitcoin Academy to bring Marcy Projects, youth of Marcy Projects out of poverty?
No.
and I think we need to destroy the myth that financial literacy solves anything for poor people. Poor people's problem. In fact,
what solves that problem? Making sure that poor people have the material conditions to live a productive and happy life. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that solves the problem.
Research, no. Peer-reviewed research.
Okay, let's bring that up.
Demonstrates what are actually solves problems. I mean, we've had poor people and poor policies.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's run down the list of things Jay-Z could truly do, or at least he could advocate for to end poverty.
Expand safety net programs to benefit all in need.
Yep, and safety net, that means the welfare.
SNAP. So
the welfare, SNAP.
We're getting crab legs with the WIC checks.
Housing vouchers.
Yes.
Educational Pell Grants, public programs. Those are the same things that
Social Security.
Folks. Social Security, yes.
Yeah.
Get
my SSI check, baby.
Create good paying jobs that meet family needs. So a federally imposed minimum wage,
a higher one.
Increased wage demands on employers.
They have a real Department of Labor that actually advocates for workers and not companies.
Yeah. So that and profit sharing with the people who actually generate the profits, like you said, raising the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Provide permanent paid family leave.
The United States of America has one of the worst oppressive paid family medical leave and paid sick day in comparison to other countries. We are terrible.
So universal health care, giving workers, democratizing the workplace. Shout out to economist, socialist economist Richard Wolff. Is he a socialist or a communist?
I don't know.
He dances around. But shout out to Richard Wolff.
But having stronger unions, especially in the private sector.
Democratizing
workplaces.
Yep.
Taking permanent increases to the child tax credit. Income tax credit.
Yeah. Get the benefit check.
And as a union guy, we need stronger unions.
Yeah. So
these are things he could be doing. He said
he could advocate, right?
You get Bitcoin.
Pay equity.
And
fair labor. Pay equity for women will reduce the poverty for millions of children like that overnight.
Invest in affordable, high-quality child care and early childhood education, especially for poor and working-class people. That stuff is very costly.
Yeah,
and sometimes
you have to testing across the board.
Yeah,
you're right.
And they always and the Democrats, anytime they propose something for the people, they always want to bring in means testing as a way to eliminate how many people could actually qualify for said benefit.
Some bull.
It's some bullshit.
Some bull.
Corporations don't get means tested for all of the funding that they get from the Federal Reserve.
Right.
They don't. There's no mean testing.
The most successful public service program that is even the model for many others is the Social Security program, and there's no means testings for Social Security, even though the Republican Party is trying to erode and undermine Social Security and privatize.
A socialist says they're both the same.
Okay. All right.
Expand access to health care. Obamacare did not fix the problem. We need a single payer
the problem
system.
of the first thing when he announced his healthcare reform, first thing I did was look at the stock of pharmaceuticals and
He met with them first.
insurance companies, and when that stock was steadily going up when Obamacare was on the table, I knew it wasn't going to be nothing but something.
He met with the pharmaceutical companies first when Obamacare was first being put into action. Before it went to Congress, before he unveiled it to the public, he had a closed door meeting with the pharmaceutical companies to carve out pharmaceutical subsidies for the bill.
Yeah,
that is a fact.
And this is one we can give to Jay-Z.
The criminal justice
reform the criminal justice system and enact policies that support successful. He actually does that.
He does that. He does that.
He does that. So
kudos
out of a dozen, out of 10.
He got
poverty
one.
reduction.
He got one right.
He's got one where he has a track.
He has
record.
one right. He has a track record of doing those things. Invest in affordable, accessible housing.
He's an enemy of that. So I'm gonna take away the one we gave him because he's literally gentrified his own hood.
He's -10.
Yeah, so he lost it. The one good thing we shot him out for.
Housing costs are exploding. They're becoming at least a third of a person's take-home pay.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous. We are headed to another. We're in a recession. And it's only a matter of time before the housing bubble bursts. But this time, the corporations and the hedge funds companies own most of the real estate. So I don't know how that's going to work. Even if it does crash, what does it matter if corporations own the housing stock in this country?
Yes,
predominantly. It's going to be interesting because they own shit.
Yes. So he gets and the final tested, scientifically researched, and demonstrated historically, politically, socially, and culturally way to reduce poverty is to modernize the SSI system, the Supplemental Security Insurance Program.
No doubt.
Which is being eroded as we speak. And they need to keep the appropriate increases for inflation. So those are things that truly financial literacy does nothing. In fact, economists go broke. Econ professors and accountants go bankrupt. Multinational corporations that have a whole team of accountants and economists on staff. The government that prints the money,
printing money,
goes into debt and has financial instability. So obviously, financial literacy is not the solution to poverty, but it is.
They didn't say that in the 12 solutions. They said nothing about taking some damn checkbook classes. Open up. This is how you open up a savings account.
Right. No, don't buy coffee. Make your own coffee at home.
Reuse the same mouthwash. Right. Wear the same underwear.
Say nothing about that. Nothing about that.
Financial literacy classes are a joke.
And any wealthy person that's trying to say they want to help poor people by giving us financial literacy is conning us.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Jay-Z
it's time to pull up.
Is still conning us. You got $1 billion, man. Leave us alone.
That's why he's there.
Why don't he go get his own Jill Scott Neal Long Island?
It's the thirst for more power.
No.
Power unchecked. Power and resources unchecked, man.
No. See, if I had $1 billion island, I'd bring Chinwezu.
Let me tell you something.
And Sheon Kuti. I'd bring intellectual and cultural giants for dialogue. My island would be the righteous island. No alcohol.
As a poor working class black man, I tell people to kiss my ass all the time. If I was a billionaire, I would hold a press conference, an international press conference, and I would get on the stage and I would say, I am a black man with $1 billion. I'm going to an island with Jill Scott. Kiss my black ass. And you would never hear from me again.
Okay.
I wouldn't be working for fucking Jack Dorsey doing Bitcoin academies in Milwaukee.
He's working with Jack Dorsey.
You know what Jay-Z reminds me of? That Tribe Called Quest song called Sucker Nigga. You remember that song?
It's the neo nigga of the 90s.
Hey, sucker nigga.
He hating sucker MCs.
Man.
And the sucker
he's a sucker nigga, man.
But he got $1 billion.
He do.
So you can't question.
I don't give a shit. He got some fiat.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that
I have character.
I don't think he's a sucker. I think that he's a parasite. I think that he's a parasite. You know, he's a talented rapper. He's an astute businessman, but ultimately nobody has done $1 billion worth of work, including LeBron James.
All I know is that Jay-Z cried on the radio when the Ether came out. and his mother made him apologize to Nas.
What do you mean he cried? Literally?
He was broken up. How Nas came after him. He went on the Angie Martinez show, and he didn't cry tears, but he was choked up. He was defeated.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to go and find that.
He did a sneak diss on Nas when Nas's mom was dying, so he thought Nas was at his weakest. Jay-Z's always had some weirdo obsession with Nas anyway. Like,
really? I didn't follow Jay-Z.
It's pretty weird. He dated his baby mama. I mean, mother of his child.
We both got something in common.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
skeeting on your baby seat.
And Carmen would say that Jay-Z would ask her, how does Nas do things? Like, it's weird like that.
In the bed?
Yes.
Yeah,
man. When I used to be real into hip hop, man, I used to read all that shit, man.
I used to read The Source.
Forums.
The Source magazine didn't write about that.
Then Benzino took it over, and it became, he had five-page spreads of Made Men and Benzino, who can't rap worth a lick.
Y'all just mad at Benzino because he tried to expose, or he didn't try. He successfully exposed Eminem as a racist.
I didn't care about that. I'm mad at Benzino because he won't come out and admit that he likes transgendered individuals. And
why you mad at him for that?
Because stay true to what you are, brother.
You don't force people out.
You don't slander people that you're doing deeds with in the dark.
He did
in
that?
the light. Yes. That's not cool.
You know, you on here talking about Benzino. He's known to pull up. Now we can talk about Jay-Z all day.
Benzino,
we can talk about Jay-Z all day.
Fuck
We're off Jay-Z's radar, but I think
exactly short ass arms.
Them no neck cats got that low center of gravity cats, man. You don't want to. I'm just saying.
No neck. I'm never scared of a brother with no neck.
Like we could listen. I will.
Your arms come up like this. I ain't never scared of that.
I will drag Jay-Z with you all day because we way off his radar. But Benzino just might pull up on us.
Benzino.
Benzino got time.
Yeah, he got time. He ain't making no hits.
Exactly.
He got time.
So be careful. Be careful, man.
You know what? Those 12 policy items didn't talk about?
What?
Reparations. They didn't talk about reparations.
I mean, you mean prosperity politics? First of all, I want to shout out the godfather and mother of the reparation movement, Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. Are you gonna leave out Tariq Nasheed?
He kind of caught wind after, he's like John the Baptist.
You know, when you said the Godfather, I thought you were gonna say somebody like Dr. Conrad or Warrior or Randall Robinson or something.
Hey, man, we talking about the new black media. We talking about the new political party identity known as American Descendants of Slaves.
American Descendants.
Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell put reparations on the map with hashtags no tangibles, no vote.
How'd that work out? Did they get tangibles?
Yes. Katani.
Who that is?
The Supreme Court sister.
How's that a tangible? Does she support reparations?
I'm just playing.
Okay.
Why do you call reparations? Do you believe in the concept of reparations?
It's not about belief or disbelief. I think we throw the word believe around. I do support reparations. But I am resentful of the fact that reparations has been so distorted.
How so?
Reparations, by definitions, in the political sense, means that you have to restore people to the state they were in prior to the atrocity.
Gotcha.
So reparations separated from anti-imperialism, anti-capitalism, African repatriation, decolonization, and other largest justice issues related to African people is not reparations. African people simply getting a preset amount of fiat currency from the U.S. government is not reparations. That's called a payoff. That is called bribery. That is not reparations. Reparations is a larger political scope. In fact, part of the reparations can you imagine that reparations just being the Jews get a check and the Nazi party remains in power?
I got my check.
So corporate monopoly.
Yeah.
Monopolies there and environmental degradation, environmental pollution. African people, if we did get reparations, just how much money would just go to dealing with chronic disease?
It's true.
I mean, a large portion of that reparations money
debt.
would go right back to our oppressors
we paying
because
off debt.
we're in a large amount of debt. So you need a debt jubilee, debt forgiveness.
Yeah.
So I think
now I can go on more trips and buy more Jordans.
Right.
Hey.
And so I think most Black people that are approaching reparations from the point of view of
give me that. I want to check
of Yvette and the ADOS and
check.
Foundational Black.
Yeah.
And what they intend to do with that money is reinvested in the very system that impoverished us.
Maybe they will buy their own blocks back and gentrify the hood.
Right, which is also an issue. I mean, look at Tyler Perry in his $1 billion studio. Tyler Perry is down there union busting, paying sub-industry wages,
and you could tell
out the shittiest.
You could tell because when you watch his shitty movies, they have the shittiest wigs.
Exactly. So
the hair is never believable. They had Shamar Moore with cornrows that looked like they glued it with Elmer's glue on top of his shiny head.
All right. So
he's had some work done, man. I saw a movie with him recently. He looked like a cat. His face was smooth. It was caved in. He kind of like Jada Pinkett.
Tyler Perry?
No, Shamar Moore. The light-skinned guy. He used to host Soul Train.
Oh, from the soap operas.
Yeah, from the soap operas.
Yeah.
He does not. He looks totally different. He's had some work. He looks crazy.
He got to compete with these with Michael B. Jordan.
Did you see Tyler Perry's new house?
No.
I saw a picture on Twitter. It's pretty big.
Oh, it's an actual house.
He has a
I
house.
thought that was a
It's
show.
a mansion.
Tyler Perry's new house.
No, he has a new mansion.
Booga booga.
And it's ducked out in the woods, so you have to like drive 2 miles to get to the house. That's how you know they're doing some nasty shit. I'm just telling you. When you gotta have a big ass house 2 to 3 miles
then why is it,
from any entry road,
put it online?
they're doing some nasty. I think somebody took, you know how these paparazzi folks do, these companies, they take these aerial videos, they use those drones and take pictures
I don't pay no
of celebrities' homes
attention.
and put them online.
You know, Tyler Perry, for years,
Yeah.
I'd call my mother-in-law and she would say, hello. That's what I hate Tyler Perry. I hate that man because I've been with my wife for 20 years. And of that 20 years, about 3 of them, for some reason, my mother-in-law, I hope she's not listening, got into watching.
I hope she's
Tyler.
listening, man.
And whenever I would talk to her on the phone, you
would say,
she called me or I call her.
Yeah.
And she say, hello. She thought that was hysterical.
Did you laugh?
I had to pretend to laugh.
You weren't even keeping it real. You should have been like, that's not fucking funny.
Nah, see, mother-in-laws.
I'm just playing, man.
I'm Black. See, white dudes like to bang with their mother-in-laws. Me and my mother-in-law have had a wonderful,
that's great,
20-year relationship. I want to keep
if only
it
you could have that with
if
only you could have that with Mingo's friends.
Until I dock at your island.
You're always welcome.
I get my pick between Nia Long or Jill Scott.
You're always
I intend to keep good relations with my wife's people.
Welcome.
But anyway, yeah, that's the worst thing Tyler Perry has ever done. Because my mother-in-law is
the
a very
worst thing he's ever done
lady.
Is
had me having to hear my mother-in-law for at least she was on that for like 3 years. Hello.
If Tyler Perry became a social worker, the Black community would be in a better place.
I don't understand what you're getting at, and we ain't even got to. Not talk about it's 8 o'clock.
Not doing fucking trash movies and TV shows.
Q4
if he was doing anything
radio.
else.
8 a.m. Central Standard
bullshit.
Time, broadcasting straight out of the city of Chirac, state of Illinois, in the United States of America. This is the Politics X.
The greatest country in the land.
Please tune in.
The land of milk and honey.
Share, subscribe if you're watching the stream. If you are listening via Q4 Radio's broadcast, please support Q4. Go to q4.org to get a list of our progressive, independent, underground pirate radio programs and broadcasts. Okay, now that's done.
You are so articulate.
I appreciate it. I try to be professional. I didn't go to broadcast school, but I grew up listening.
You make do.
I grew up listening to NPR.
I could tell.
I tried to start a beef between Q4 and NPR to kind of because that's how the rappers get famous.
You try to be Puff Daddy?
Yeah, I used to get on here and call out This American Life.
If you want to come to a real radio station with real news, come to Q4 Radio.
Right. So they didn't take the bait, and John wouldn't help me. The station head didn't.
He didn't appreciate that.
I'm like, yo, we should start a beef with another radio station.
But you got to actually call that radio station and tell them, like, let's do this beef.
No, is that how they coordinate?
Yeah, they coordinate that.
I thought you just say something and then they respond.
I think Tupac.
I thought Terry Gross would get on the air before we
no,
start
I
with
think-
fresh air.
No,
I'd like to
man.
first say, punk ass Diallo,
They
bro,
script-
Diallo show. You step to me, you gonna get yours.
They
And we could
script
go
that
back
shit
and
out,
forth.
man.
Oh,
They
damn.
script that shit out.
I don't know how to
man.
do beef. I told you I tried to tell my crew to jump this dude, and my crew said go sit down somewhere.
You know what that really means? They didn't really fuck with you like that.
Oh, they're my homies, man. I
Then
think
how come they didn't fight
they didn't
him?
want me to go down that dark path.
I don't even know you like that, and I would have fought with you.
Oh, word?
Yes.
I can mobilize you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
I blow
down.
the whistle.
I am down for the bullshit. Let me
Okay.
tell you.
But I unfortunately don't currently have any beefs on the south side right
Well,
now.
you let me know.
I'm cool with everybody.
You let me.
I'm
You're
cool.
cool with
Let me
everybody
see.
except the.
I'm trying to think.
lovers
I ain't
of
got
religion.
no beefs.
You
I ain't
know,
got
you
no.
got
I
beef?
love them more than they love themselves. I love them more than their Lord. I love you more than your God.
You should make a T-shirt. Diallo loves you more than your God.
I do,
They would sell like hotcakes.
bro. Diallo. Yeah, I don't want to start no cult type business. I don't
You're
trust
already a
myself
cult leader.
because I trust the people, but I don't trust. If I
You're-
had cult powers,
You already have cult powers.
no, you see.
If you really wanted to use your powers for evil, you could become a
I
powerful
tried to do
cult
something evil.
leader.
I tried to get my crew to jump this dude.
You did, and they
and
said,
they didn't
no,
do it. So I don't
no,
have
we
that
don't
kind
know
of
you
power.
like that.
I
We ain't
can't-
doing that.
I'm not Farrakhan. I can't create the atmosphere which leads to the death of other
to the
people.
death and destruction of our leaders.
I'm not Farrakhan, but you know, and plus I can't waste all that time, all that conk in my hair and stuff. It's too much to be a cult leader. You know,
You know
every
what?
cult leader,
Does
you know.
Farrakhan have his own hair person?
huh?
Does he
I
do it
think
himself?
I think he has a hairdresser. With them
What is it?
gloves, they put on them paper thin gloves.
Fried,
and
dye, and lay it to the
Farrakhan's
side.
conk. Oh man, that brother is 90 years
First of
old.
all, I want to give him credit for being dedicated to the conk. When
I
other
mean-
people were like, you know what, it's the 70s, let's not do that shit no more. Farrakhan
Farrakhan's like,
said,
"Nah, I'ma ride
I'm
this
doubling
shit
down on
till
the conk.
wheels fall off."
And he
Ain't
still
no
has it.
way
I saw him as a kid in the 80s. He had it.
man,
He still has it now.
Ain't no way a 90-plus-year-old man.
I just want to know.
Ain't no way. He ain't even got no hair. He's
First of
conking
all-
his scalp.
First of all, which kid are you using, brother? Is it Luster's? Is it Duke?
I mean,
Which one? Is it Sporting Waves?
Luscious.
Which kid are
Lush.
you using?
So, and it's black as night. It is so black. I mean, Rudy Giuliani should call Farrakhan. Farrakhan will get on there, the white devils, and you don't see no dye streaming down his cheeks.
You can't. You don't. I
Like
don't really see any
Giuliani.
Farrakhan videos on social media anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Where you be at?
I don't see them.
Well, how you get your
I think
instructions?
they must have ghost banned them.
How you get your instructions? And you know Farrakhan. Another thing about Farrakhan.
First of
you
all,
know
I'm
he's
connected
blessed.
to the. First of all, I'm connected to the mothership.
You
okay?
know,
Our frequencies are right here.
you and Farrakhan.
No, the mothership.
That's
That's
so
how-
you up there with Elijah.
Right. That's how I get
you,
my orders.
You communing with Farad Muhammad.
Yes, I go to the essence.
But also the Nation of Islam teaches that if you are truly blessed, the texture of your hair will be like the texture of your eyebrows. And tell me Farrakhan's
Look
hair.
at his eyebrows.
And if y'all listening on the air, I'm sorry, y'all. Just go Google Farrakhan. You can see if you're not watching us on the stream. But his texture of his hair is definitely the texture of eyebrows. And they need to put whatever he's using. They need to put that on. Stop selling bean pies on the corner.
Why didn't they?
And Farrakhan.
And how come the nation never made their own Farrakhan
Yeah.
products? He should have been like a model.
And let me get this off of here.
We could have. They could have had their own black-owned production companies of the Farrakhan fried, dyed, and laid it to the side.
I want a vegan bean pie. I was raised on them bean pies.
Bean pies are
They're
delicious.
Freaking delicious.
They're delicious.
I haven't had a bean pie in 30 freaking years. Some bullshit. Loud dough.
I got
Yo,
a frat brother who's a member of the nation. Every time he comes at me, I always check him. Hey man, I used to buy them books from you to help you with your Save Your Day sales, and I bought bean pies. Get off my damn back.
Yo,
I support financially, brother.
I knew a sister. I knew a family, right?
Yeah.
We was cool. Dude's family was cool with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the hookup for vegan bean pies.
Hey.
Authentic. The kind with, you know how it's kind of sugary crusted on the edge.
That's how you know it's good.
And the cream, and the thickness.
Yeah.
She brought over we had a dinner party. She brought a vegan
Aren't
bean
you
pie.
fancy?
Right?
Yeah.
Within a week of that, we fell out.
Why?
I see dude up and down the street. He looks at me with turns his nose up.
Why?
He
You betrayed
claims,
him?
well, he told someone else that I traumatized his kid.
How did you do that?
I didn't.
What did he say that you did?
Do y'all want to get in? People ain't tuning in to hear my personal
I mean,
problems.
we could let's table.
Long story short, we had a comic book club,
Uh,
and all the kids were in the comic book club. And so
Okay.
I was running the kids' comic for homeschooling back when we were hippies and homeschooling our kids.
That's really cute.
And we got with a
precious.
bunch of other vegan black hippies to all have a homeschooling commune.
Okay.
And part of the commune was the kids wanted to publish a comic book, an African-centered comic. And I
Nice.
was officiating.
Hotep man.
And the kids started fighting and immediately bickering and fighting amongst themselves.
And you didn't stop the fighting time?
I don't know how to, well, man, listen.
You let his kid get his ass whooped.
No, it was not physical.
Oh.
It was
verbal?
They was bickering.
Oh.
They were bickering.
So he thought you didn't take decisive action.
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't, but
Diablo traumatized.
I just kind of, I got two sons. I'm used to yell, but he was like one of the pioneers of gentle parenting or nonviolent parenting. So anyway,
That's
they were bickering, and there was this one kid. Shout out, what's up, William? He was a very assertive kid.
Yellow
He was
said-
like, yo, there was this one character who was like a fairy. And they were like, yo, we don't want this fairy in the group, man. This damn magical fairy. No, these are superheroes. This is like
magical fairy.
This is like a decade ago.
Yeah.
We don't, and so William started being like, I'm not gonna be a part of this. And so then when one kid said, I'm gonna leave if I don't get what I want, then the next kid was like, I'm gonna leave if I don't get what I want. But then William's father stepped in and was like, yo, do your assignment before I punch you in your chest. Get in there and do your assignment. So he calmed down. And then my son was kind of like, I don't really want to do this.
This was Diallo. Diallo said, fuck them kids.
And so,
Fuck them kids.
Afterwards,
Yeah.
there was, and I'm like, I'm not a child care specialist. I know comic books inside out. So I thought, I know comic books. I could run a comic book club. So anyway, from that, no, this is what happened. This is why they stopped talking to me. You ever dealt with homeschooling parents?
No, I have not.
They're the freaking worst.
Okay.
I say this as a former homeschooling, as a reformed, recovering homeschooler. My wife and I are recovering homeschoolers. After the thing, it was tumultuous, but I calmed it down. I got everybody to agree.
Yeah.
All the kids went home. By the time I sat down for dinner, I had like text messages, emails, and 50 calls from all these black homeschoolers. Brother this, brother that. And that's when I turned my wife, I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. Yo, this is wild. These homeschoolers that are all in their children's business.
Yeah.
And so that's
on
when
your job.
I said, yo, and that the Bean Pod Connect fucked up my Bean Pod. The Bean Pod Connect was like, when I come back, I expect this, and that, and I expect that. And I'm like, well, I expect you're not coming back because I'm not doing this anymore. And they never spoke to me again.
So you quit?
I quit. And that's really why.
You abandoned those kids,
right?
Man.
And that's
you
why
traumatized them and then left them to deal with their traumas without you.
I found out what he was telling because we had another mutual friend that came here to visit from out of town.
Yeah.
And this brother he went to visit with them and they came to visit with us, a mutual acquaintance. And he was like, yo, I just went by the brother's house. And he was
brothers.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I know that dude. He's like, I know you know him. I'm like, he was like, what? And he's like, well, he told me y'all kind of fell out. And I'm like, yeah, what did he say? Because I ain't spoke to the dude in like 8 years. And he was like, he said you traumatized his kid. So I didn't know what he was out here telling people. So it's a mess, man. That's why that might, but anyway.
Sugar Booger's daughter is a homeschooler. So as you're talking about how these homeschooling parents are insufferable.
Right, insufferable. Man. Too much. Leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. Let them kids get out there.
Dude,
Both of my oldest has graduated from Chicago public schools, and my youngest just graduated from a Chicago public school.
That's great.
In the 8th grade. He's going to his freshman
high school
year at another local. He's going to his neighborhood school, going to get his behind up and walk up the block to his neighborhood school. I'm just I am anti-homeschool.
Gotcha. My son.
Now get at me for that. People about to go off on me. Y'all homeschoolers are weird. Y'all tricked me. Y'all lied. You lied to me.
Yo, weirdos.
You lied to me.
My son just graduated from 5th grade. He's going into junior high.
Ain't no such thing as graduation.
Completion. They call it
grade.
completion. The completion ceremony.
I didn't even like the 8th grade graduation. I just went with the flow. But I don't believe
I'm old, man. I got a kid in high school. I got a kid in junior high. One more right. Yeah, man.
I got a 19-year-old who got his own car.
His
Shout
own
out to Dita.
his
gave
own
my son
place?
a car. He'll have his
Hey,
own place.
what
I
type
gotta
of car?
rent a van and drive him to his own place.
What type of car?
It's like a 2000 and what is it? Like a 2009 Subaru.
Nice.
It's oldest, but it works.
Subarus
Hey,
are
shout
very
out.
safe
Yeah.
vehicles.
Yeah.
That's it's a great car. I like Subarus.
Yeah. So he'll be out here.
Oh, he about to have all the women. Got my own place with my incense sticks.
I asked this girl he's trying to holler at. His mama talked to him about that kind of stuff.
What? Oh, you
Girl,
stay
he's
out
trying
of
to
it?
holler. Yeah.
Why not?
I'm just
You got
genuinely.
Mingo making him
I'm genuinely disinterested.
Ralph Tresvant.
Listen, I talked to him about anatomy and physiology. I
He
talked to
needs a
him about
game.
his anatomy. I talked to him about women's anatomy. I schooled him about consent and respecting. Don't go around breaking young girls' heart. I did I did everything.
But you got more
I
skills
need
than
to
that.
do. So now
You could tell them about this is how you break a woman down so they
I
become
tried to.
vegan and vegetarian.
That's
That's what you did. You broke her down.
I
She
don't
came
think
in.
he probably like stayed vegan. I look in his room and there's like cans of Red Bull.
Great. Break away.
You know, so
Go to freedom.
He drinks so, but you know, I don't mess with him, man. I've done all that I can do. Now he has to come to me for insights.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
What are you, Larry Fishburne from Boys in the Hood?
Exactly.
You Furious Styles?
Yes,
Get the
you got to
fuck
come
outta
to me.
here.
I don't volunteer nothing for him anymore. I've taught him all that I know. It's not much. So,
will you be celebrating Juneteenth this Sunday?
let's talk about Juneteenth.
It's a celebration.
That's today's topic. I think everybody listening probably was expecting us like, when these dudes gonna talk about Juneteenth, and maybe we
got
open
3
the
hours,
phones.
baby. We got
No,
3 hours.
Not now.
We got
We
a
didn't
little
squander 1
under
hour.
2.
We had to squander 1 hour to listen to your fantasies about an island where you're gonna keep Jill Scott and Nia Long against their will.
First, I didn't say that.
You did.
No, I didn't. I would like for them to go. If they're in committed relationships, I am willing to buy them out of their marital contracts if they choose.
When a rich bitch wants you. Okay. All right.
Reparations.
Let's
No,
go
Juneteenth.
back. Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
First of all, do you celebrate Juneteenth?
No, I don't.
Do you care to say why? Because you didn't want to offend Jay-Z. So maybe I don't know. I don't know what you're willing to share or not share. Because
that is such a mischaracterization of the argument. That is so Fox News.
You was being mad delicate. I'm like, what you think about Jay-Z? I think Jay-Z does the best he can do.
I did not say that. I didn't say that. I did not get the fuck out
And then
of
you
here.
start going in on Benzino.
Come on.
I'm just saying, you are
fake
you
news, brother.
Mad delicate when we talked about Jay-Z.
Fake news.
You out here jeffing.
Get out of here.
You out here jeffing with Blue Ivy. You out here.
No.
Yes. Okay. But anyway, I'm not going to get in between you and Jay-Z.
Shut up.
All right. But you didn't talk greasy about.
I don't celebrate Juneteenth.
Do you care to say why?
I don't get it.
If you like to,
I don't get why it's a celebration. I don't get why. One, how I view celebration is that's after good work has been done. When you do good work as a community and you work to improve the material conditions of your community, politically, educationally, socially, there are times where we should come together to celebrate our work and where it's brought us to study the past and figure out where we're going. That's how I view celebration.
Right.
When you don't do any work, what the fuck are you celebrating for? And it makes the celebrations meaningless, and it dilutes the purpose of them because you're constantly having these basic, shallow celebrations for no communal work done. That's my first thing with celebrations, period. In terms of Juneteenth, from the history of what I've known for what Juneteenth is to be, I don't know why it's celebrated.
We'll get into that. Just
I don't.
want to know where you.
So
I
I
just want to know what
fundamentally-
biases you have. But
I
we'll
fundamentally
walk down
don't get
the
it.
history of Black emancipation in the United States.
That's great because
It's a tragic history.
So I don't understand why that's the celebration.
You will by the end of this program.
That is great. And
now,
so it's bullshit to me. And so I feel that when the Black community comes together to do work, we should celebrate in community and in love. And when we don't do work, we shouldn't be celebrating shit. We should be getting to work. That's how I feel.
all right.
Yeah.
Do you celebrate any holidays?
I have children, so I celebrate the holidays that relate to children. But no, I don't personally.
You care to name the?
I don't really care.
Hedging.
If you give me a gift, fine. I don't really like that type of stuff.
Which holidays do you celebrate?
I don't do anything special.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I don't celebrate Juneteenth. And do you celebrate Kwanzaa?
No.
Damn.
First of all, I don't like Karinga. I don't like him.
You know what I celebrate? My whole family celebrates?
Yeah.
Halloween. We call it Hollow Green because our Halloween is completely vegan. And we do a costume contest.
That's Hollow weird.
We do a costume.
Halloween parties are fun though. Dress up and do karaoke and when you're a parent, you celebrate certain holidays to give children memories.
Right.
That's how I view it. And so I've tried to be better at making sure that I'm not being a grouch on holidays with small children. And hopefully as they grow up, I don't have to do this shit no more.
Yeah, well, we're going to continue to do Halloween, and we do a costume contest.
But to answer your question about Kwanzaa, first of all, I think that's dope. I think you talked about this before because you talked about some of the costumes you did. But
yeah, and I post I've never won a costume contest.
Well, get your weight up. What you crying about? Get better costumes.
I knocked it out the park this year.
What did you come as? I'm gonna come back to this point, but I want to know, what did you come as?
I was Black John Wick. I was John Wick.
First of all, you're a pacifist. So why are you being John Wick?
I'm not a pacifist.
You're a pacifist.
No, I'm not.
Who won the costume?
My wife won this year, and my son won last year.
First of all, that means the competition was rigged. If Mingo won, the competition was rigged. First of all, you don't look like John Wick.
I look like John Wick. What
you
the
look like
clot you talking about?
You look like Cicely Tyson. That's what you look like, Cicely Tyson with a beard.
You don't see. I did my own makeup. I styled my own hair.
You look crazy. First, what the? That's not a good costume. Show Mingo, please. Oh. Please show her. Because first I thought she rigged the competition, but
that's my son.
That's better than yours.
He was Huey.
That's better than yours.
Really?
Yes.
Already?
You don't look like John Wick. You look like Cicely Tyson.
This is my son, Couch Burner.
Great costume. You're already third place. She knocked it out the park.
She went for
your shit was trash.
Went for low hanging fruit. Everybody,
she took the easy way out.
Yeah, anybody doing Black Panther.
Look like Cicely Tyson.
She cheat. I could have easily just dressed up as T'Challa.
You look like
and
you
won the damn contest, but I try to give some. I try to be creative.
First of all, you got a Tyler Perry wig on right now.
I try to be creative.
That's a Tyler Perry movie wig you got on right now.
I try to be creative. I try to put some effort.
There's no guns.
I try to put some effort.
Where the weapons? Where the coat?
I did have guns. It was hot. We had the fireplace going.
Your shit is trash.
Well, I'm gonna kill it this year, but okay, that's the holiday.
All right,
what are you talking about?
So going back to
that's
Kwanzaa.
Holiday.
So Milwaukee, they do all of these celebrations, these Kwanzaa celebrations.
Man, I'm about to log off. You finished the show by yourself. Hating ass.
When we did all Black everything, we tried to organize
the show with Dr. Mingo. Since you all caught
don't get mad at me because first, no, it's better than your costume.
That the Black Panthers abandoned the whole Black community.
First of all,
allowed the slave trade to happen while they sat behind a mountain. But you want to, man?
That don't got nothing to do with that.
Finish. I'm out.
First and foremost, it was trash. It was trash. You put a lot of time and effort into a costume that does not look like a Black John Wick.
I look like John Wick.
You look like Cicely Tyson acting like a man. That's what you look like in that costume. You don't look like John Wick. I would never think that was John Wick.
The black silky tie.
The wig throws it off, Diallo. The wig threw everything off.
I was in gunfights.
The wig
I've been
threw it
fighting and shooting all through the city. How you think
didn't have
my
any
hair's
guns?
supposed to
You didn't have a toy gun?
I did have a gun. I did have
Then
a
why
gun.
don't you flash the guns or something?
I thought that was the better picture.
What? You had other pictures?
Yeah, I had a lot
You
of
probably
pictures.
had some other picures that would won. That I would think
But the
should have
picture
won.
I used of John Wick didn't have a gun in it. It was a headshot.
You don't look like John Wick.
Because he white.
You look like you're going to brunch in DC.
All right, so
with some Chelsea
I'll
boots.
just be T'Challa this year. I won't
There.
put no thought, no creativity. I'll just go for the low-hanging fruit. I'll just attack y'all emotions. I'll be Black Jesus this year.
You're like John Sick.
And I can use the same wig. I'm gonna be Black Jesus. Then
That'd
I'll
be
win
great.
the contest.
That'd be great. Like the TV show Black Jesus. Be that Black Jesus. You ever see that? You ever watch that TV show?
Yeah, get your breath.
That would be great.
Bruh. I love Black Jesus. The first
You
two
should have came as
seasons.
a Black Power Grinch. That's what you should have came.
I was the
as.
Grinch already.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's dope.
I already dressed as the Grinch. I did
Well,
a whole radio show as the Grinch.
Don't use Tyler Perry wigs
I
in
try
your
to be-
costumes.
Don't be creative
That shit's
around
trash.
Black people. Don't be
You said
creative.
don't be creative.
Cause y'all be hating.
It's terrible.
I just
They
don't be
beat you.
creative. Like,
They
let's
go
move
set
on.
it off.
Like, can we move on?
But Milwaukee,
I
they
really
do
thought
this.
I'd have some support.
No, even the people don't agree. They're like, what is that?
Yes, you see Black Panther, Black people just collapse. Oh, it's the Black Panther. Look at that, yeah. So you gonna save the CIA agent? They gave magic vibranium healing
Yeah.
to the white CIA
Yeah,
agent,
and they
then
stopped
get
the
no
revolution.
vibranium
And they stopped the
and
revolution.
Stop the revolution. Yeah, y'all celebrate that. That's why Black people ain't gotten that. That's
And he
why we
got
can't get ahead.
and they threw his ass off a waterfall.
This is why Black
He
people
came to your
can't-
hood and threw you off a
This
waterfall.
is why Black people can't get ahead.
That is crazy.
And
that
it
you-
all
that you
started
equate
because
that.
they
You equate the fact
the
that we can't get
Wakandans.
free to
I'm
your
joining
trash
ADOS.
Halloween.
I am a descendant. I ain't dealing with no Wakandan.
You and
I am an
Antonio would have a
American.
fist fight on the introductions.
Okay, all right.
Y'all wouldn't make it. Y'all wouldn't make it past one meeting before you throw them blows. Okay, let's move on.
I'm gonna be.
Don't ever show that costume again. Okay. So Milwaukee, they do these big Kwanzaa celebrations every year. They come, they get the drums, they get the kids, all that bullshit.
Would you
man.
like an appearance by Black John Wick at your event?
No.
The cheapest
Please.
rates. I can get you some really good rates
Please.
on an appearance, celebrity impersonation appearance
Next,
by Black John Wick at your next Kwanzaa event. Just let me know. We'll talk about it off air.
no. If I'm ever trying to scare some
I
children,
said we will talk about it off
if
air.
I'm ever trying to scare
Let's
some
hear about
children, I will
Milwaukee.
call you. If I'm trying to scare some people, I'll call you.
Yeah, because
okay?
they know John
Confuse
Wick
some
is
people,
a dangerous
I'll
man.
call you.
He's killed hundreds of people.
But this is a community that literally does not do any type of radical communal organizing all year. And you come together to do what? To drink punch and watch people bang some drums and talk about a bunch of bullshit that you don't even practice.
Right.
Each day is supposed to be celebrating the work that's done underneath the principle.
Right.
If you're not doing that work, then what the fuck are you celebrating? It's all symbolic bullshit. It's no better than Black History Month at this point, which I also don't celebrate anymore.
And for a fee, I can also throw in Karinga clause.
I would like to see that.
Who will come to your
Now we're
Kwanzaa
talking.
event? Who
Now
will
we're
come
talking.
to your Kwanzaa event and snitch on the bad kids?
Now
if you
talking.
better be good, or
You gotta have
Karinga
all the,
clause
you gotta
will
have all the
report
comedic
you
shit on.
will report you to COINTELPRO.
Yeah. He's the
All the
boys.
naughty kids.
He's the boys.
All the naughty kids.
You gotta have
get
all the
reported to
comedic
COINTELPRO.
clothes, all that
And
shit,
all
man.
the good kids get to become tenured professors after pretending they were revolutionaries against the state. So if you want Karinga clause
shots
at your next,
fired.
I'm just trying to make your holidays
Shots
more
fired.
festive.
Are you trying to say that you cannot be a armed revolutionary, now tenured, celebrated professor?
I mean, I guess, yeah. If you Angela Davis or Karinga, I don't know no white revolutionaries that pulled that shit off.
Hey, most Black.
I don't even know. Like, listen, you were a Black armed insurgent on the run, FBI. What up? Name a white man that's been on the FBI top 10 list and go be a damn tenured professor. Where they do that at?
Hey man, she got connections.
And you ain't singing like a bird? How you do that? I can't even get a good job with my little track record. I ain't even been on. I've only had a few bench warrants. You know, I've only been detained.
You've never taken up arms.
I've only
to
been
break people out of prison.
No, you
never done anything like that. You can't get a 10-year professorship.
I couldn't get no good job, and I got degrees.
Revolutionaries.
I got qualifications. I know how to write in the proper verb tense. I know how to conjugate verbs and how to structure a paragraph in an essay. I know how to do academic shit.
Abolition is a scam.
And I've had a few bench warrants, few little minor cases, some traffic violations. Yeah. I ain't never been on no FBI's list.
Not to your knowledge.
And I couldn't get a job that damn good.
Not to your knowledge.
And I ain't know. The FBI list is public.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a public record.
You're in the redacted list.
No, it ain't no redacted list. The FBI is the most open and honest organizations in the U.S. government.
Juneteenth.
Okay, let's run this down. Black emancipation. How did black people get free in America? So let's run down the line.
Run it down.
So in 1919, it feels like 19, but in 1863, January 1st, Abraham Lincoln, in the Republican Party, issued the Emancipation Proclamation. And I'm going to read what he said verbatim when he freed us. Yeah, you're looking at the FBI's most wanted. That dude's a wild dude. He killed his whole family. He ain't gonna never catch him.
That's Chris Benoit.
Just a quote from the Emancipation Proclamation.
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln stated on it was written before and it was shopped around the loyalist or the unionist before he said it, but he made the public statement in 1863.
There's some focus groups.
If I could save the Union without freeing any slaves, I would do it. If I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that.
I would do anything.
So there is a myth about the Civil War was about liberating Africans.
Right.
But actually the Civil War was about slavery.
It was.
So people say it ain't got nothing to do. But it was not about
tariffs and
the
taxation.
Institution ending or preserving the institutions. It was about regulating slavery.
It was.
What territories in the United States, in the contested territories, because the Louisiana Purchase and the Oklahoma territories, most of the what is called the Southwest, and most of outside of California and Washington, most of the Rocky Mountain regions had not been incorporated. They were just territories of the United States, right? And they were arguing. And in fact, there's this memorial that I've been to in Osawatomie, Kansas, which was one of the first areas where blood was shed between the free states and the slave state in Osawatomie, Kansas.
Osawatomie.
Yeah, that's where John Brown got radicalized.
Nice.
In Kansas.
Okay.
Before Harper's Ferry, John Brown. But white folks were fighting because the white working class says whenever there are slaves brought in, working class whites, which represented the majority of white people, were essentially displaced by slave labor.
No doubt.
So the working class whites and the new immigrants wanted to limit slavery's expansion. They actually wanted to limit into the agricultural places of the South, whereas the Southern people wanted to expand slavery. They wanted slaves to be working in mining industries. They wanted enslaved Africans to be working in the logging industry. They knew the expanding railroad. They were like,
they had a competitive advantage.
Get this money.
Yes,
right.
This money.
So that's what slavery was about. It was about the regulation of slavery, not necessarily the abolition of slavery. And after the Emancipation Proclamation, I where you talk about celebrating empty bullshit.
Yeah.
The Emancipation Proclamation was only issued to states that were in open rebellion against the federal government.
No doubt.
Where the open rebellion states, he had literally no jurisdiction. He was fighting to reclaim jurisdiction. So literally the Emancipation Proclamation didn't free anyone because Missouri, my home state, where I was born and raised, shout out East Hills Village, Prospect,
St. Lunatics.
Shout out to Kansas City.
Stop hating on Nelly.
KC Royals, the Chiefs.
Stop hating on Nelly. We
I'm
going
talking
down,
about KC.
down, baby.
No, we're not going down. We talking about
Mm,
Tech Nine.
Man, he did a song with The Rock. That shit is
We
trash.
talking about
We
Wyclef
gonna-
Jean did one.
We gonna take your face off. No, Tech Nine did a song with. It was called
Tech
Face
Nine
Off.
is bigger than Nelly.
He's not.
What?
Nelly went diamond, brother.
What? Tech Nine's not bigger than Nelly?
No.
Let me tell you, Kansas City beats St. Louis every time. And if you've got a problem with that, I apologize because I don't want no beef with the
Tech
St.
Nine
Louis
has never
boys.
had a song
Dudes is
bigger than
crazy.
Air Force Ones. Give me 2 pair. Buy me 2 pair.
Okay, yeah, he had some pop hits. But in terms of being an icon,
I keep it real
a
dirty,
pillar,
dirty.
underground,
Oh,
Tech Nine did it all underground.
He also did a song with The
Unsigned,
Rock.
independent.
And it was worse than your John Ick costume.
So listen, man, don't sit across from a Kansas City cat
Nelly's bigger, man.
talking about
Come
St.
on, man.
Louis.
You go to 10 people outside right now. Hey, you heard Tech Nine? Who? A gun?
Word.
You heard of Nelly? And they'll play me a Nelly song. I'm a sucker for cornrows and manicured
Who got
toes.
the bigger catalog?
Probably Tech Nine.
Probably.
But Nelly has the
Was
bigger
a beast. Tech
catalog.
Nine is still a beast. Shout out to Tech Nine, but even more underground. Rich the Factor. Shout out to the Dun Dilla, the Popper, Walt Lee, Kansas City Institution. So stop it.
Shout out to Ali and
Yeah,
the other lunatics.
Chingy, get out of here, man.
Hey,
St. Louis, let me tell you.
First, let's
when
not
it
hate
comes
on
to
Chingy.
hip-hop, when it comes to hip hop, real talk, G.
Right there.
St. Louis cannot
Jaquan
touch
is bigger than
Kansas
Tech
City
Nine. Jaquan
when
is
it
bigger
comes
than Tech Nine.
to hip hop. Real talk.
Tech Nine never had a song
When
better
you put
than Getting Tipsy.
and when you're dealing with Missouri hip hop, Kansas City blows way past. You got to be on some commercial radio, commercial rap stuff. But anyway, Missouri was allowed to keep slaves.
It's very nice of
after the Emancipation Proclamation because the Missouri did not cede from the Union.
Got it.
Maryland and Tennessee were allowed to,
So we
under
still with
federal
you, brother.
protections,
keep slaves.
right. And so then
that makes so much sense now.
the Emancipation essentially freed no one. I mean, but it was a gesture.
Yeah.
It was really a military tactic.
Right.
It was propaganda. It was empty. So then we move on to the 13th Amendment being ratified on December 18th, 1865, right? And the section 1 of the of the 13th Amendment, because the Emancipation Proclamation should just be discarded.
Okay.
No African should acknowledge it. It's really a disrespectful document because it legitimized slavery in the non-secession states, and it only freed slaves in parts of the country where the president didn't have the jurisdiction to free slaves.
No doubt.
So the 13th Amendment is truly the bill that gave Africans emancipation.
Yeah.
And it stated that Section 1, I'm sure most of us know this, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. And then basically Section 2 says that the Congress is responsible for enforcing these laws. Most of the power within the confines of the United States, financial is and legal, is the Congress.
It's in Congress, yeah.
You know, it's the Congress. So Congress enforces it. So that's what gave. And then, of course, the 14th Amendment, which grants citizenships to African people, and the 15th Amendment, which guaranteed voting rights. Now, since the ratification, those rights, because it stated persons, instead of saying enslaved Africans or enslaved people, they decided to put the innocuous term persons in there.
Yeah.
Multinational corporations derived more benefit, financial and political benefit from the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment than
they kept it nebulous
than African people.
Yeah.
And so that's where we got it. In 1865, we received our voting rights, our citizenship, and slavery was outlawed if you had not been convicted of a crime.
Yeah.
But if you've been convicted of the crime, then the state you become property of the state.
State property.
Right. Which
Beanie Siegel.
And so those were the two moves.
Yeah.
But Juneteenth fits into that, where the Juneteenth was originally called the General Order Number 3, issued by General Gordon Granger, who was a a Union general who had penetrated deeper into the South than almost any other unit commander during the Civil War or in the waning years of the Civil War. And he came upon this place called Galveston, Texas.
Yeah.
And this was in, again, 1865. It is a myth that people say, well, Africans were enslaved and toiling in slavery years after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Gotcha.
But they were not. They were toiling for years after the Emancipation Proclamation, but they were not toiling within. In fact, the Africans in Galveston, Texas, enslaved ancestors, actually received their notice of their emancipation and their guaranteed rights before it was issued by the Congress.
Weren't they already building like their own communities during that time?
What do you mean?
The
Like
Africans
free
in
communities?
Galveston, yeah. Weren't they already doing that?
No, well, you had
thought they were
the
already doing
Seminole people of Florida. So there were basically free communities or rebellious or runaway communities in parts of that, but they weren't really recognized. That's a whole nother discussion. But let me read the document that Africans are celebrating when it comes to Juneteenth, right? So this general issued a statement to the enslaved Africans, right? And he stated that the people are informed that in concordance with the proclamation of the executive of the United States, all slaves are free, which is inaccurate. He's lying. The first statement of our liberation was a goddamn lie, because at that time when the Emancipation Proclamation was issued, Africans in Missouri, Maryland, Tennessee, and West Virginia could be justifiably legally enslaved. And if you were in Missouri after the Emancipation Proclamation and you ran over to Kansas, which was free territory, or you're headed up north toward the North Star, the federal government, Abraham Lincoln's federal agents, would apprehend you and return you to slavery.
That's crazy.
But
that is crazy, man.
But let me read the whole statement of General Order Number 3. The people are informed that in accordance with the proclamation of the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. And the connection heretofore, this is Old English, heretofore existing between them, become that between employer and hired labor. So the person you just worked for free for, now you're their employee, right? But then there's a caveat. The freed are advised to remain at their present homes and work for wages. So you're free, but I would just let you know, yo, you might want to stay here. The man that's been mutilating, raping, branding, exploiting you, stay there. You might want to get on his payroll. Hence, sharecropping. And then he said, they are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts. Right. So don't come running to the military. Don't think we're going to do shit for you. Yeah. You're good. And they will not be supported in idleness.
So if you're just doing nothing.
And they will not be either there or elsewhere.
Wow. So if you're not, basically, if you're not working, get your black ass somewhere.
Where there's nowhere for you to go. So our emancipation, Juneteenth, this is the Juneteenth document.
Basically work. We should be working on Juneteenth.
They said.
That's how we should be celebrating.
They said.
Work for wages.
The man you've worked for free.
Now you're going to get paid.
Your employer for wages. Notice, they didn't give them land. It was no reparations.
Right.
And they said, and your ass bet not leave. You
Don't
stay
leave.
Your ass here. Keep
and there's
working,
nowhere for your ass to go.
Instead of working for victuals, instead of working for shelter, and guess who? When you did your work for wages after the Juneteenth, right?
Yeah.
And this was issued in Galveston, Texas on June 19, 1865. Where did you buy your food from? So, okay, Here come massa, say, well, I don't own you anymore. I'm no longer your master. I'm your employer.
Right.
And here's your wages. You're going to have to pay me for housing. Because you can't go to the fort.
You don't got shit.
You're not allowed to be idle in the goddamn street, because if you are
shit.
idle, we can arrest you.
We can arrest you.
And if we arrest you, we can re-enslave you.
And this is the shit that we're celebrating.
They said, stay in your homes. Where the blood clot were the homes of the enslaved
Where were the homes of the slave people?
On the master's plantation. And so you go from living on my house to renting.
Yeah.
So the money that you got in wages, you had to give right back to your
right
former
back for
master
housing and food and security
housing,
and everything.
Clothing, transportation. This is what we are
like
cooking
those
barbecue
what
for.
do they call those labor towns?
Right.
Yeah.
And this is why I didn't F with Juneteenth. It didn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense.
All due respect to our ancestors. All due respect. All praises due. I understand. Like I had a dude I grew up with. Our mothers were best friends. He was incarcerated for 23 years for a crime they knew he didn't do. And even by the time the prosecutor, the judge, and even the media was like, we have evidence confirming he didn't commit this homicide.
Yeah.
They's like, yeah, we acknowledge that he didn't commit the homicide and the evidence exonerates him, but he filed too late. He waited too long to file his grievance. So we have to keep him in jail on a technicality.
Oh, wow.
He eventually got out after over 20 years incarceration.
Okay.
He celebrated that shit. He was in jail for 23 years for a murder he didn't commit. I remember when he first was put in there. And Missouri prisons, the streets of Missouri for black people are miserable. Imagine you live in Missouri, a honky-tonk Ozark hillbilly state. And they put all the prisons where they put the black men in these rural backwater areas. You got these inbred hicks. Yeah, I said it. Watching our people, right?
Yeah.
Sadistic racist.
Right. Sundown towns.
And so when he got out, he celebrated. But my thing is, you celebrate day one, day two is outrage. Day one is celebration. Day two is outrage.
You took 22 years of my life.
Right. Now we're 200 years away from this.
Right.
Still enduring many of the same atrocities. I say to African people all the time,
we celebrate.
Name one thing we're fighting for now that we weren't fighting for 100 years ago.
That's true. That's facts.
And so you telling me we celebrating emancipation, and you do the celebration of emancipation the day after you march over over police atrocities?
Yeah, so I can get some
barbecue. You
go
to a freedom barbecue one day, and you fighting against mass incarceration, which is mass enslavement. According to the 13th Amendment, mass incarceration is mass enslavement.
First of all, the police are at the festival, and when if they play music, they're going to be doing the electric slide and the cha-cha with the police. I've seen that shit from my own very eyes.
Or you go to the West Indian Day parade, and they grinding up and winding up on the pigs.
One time they had SWAT on the rooftops of buildings at a Juneteenth festival in my hometown.
Let's move forward a little more. Africans were not freed. They went from chattel slavery to wage slavery, on Juneteenth. What are we celebrating? Now, the Africans, you tell me, even if you personally believe that wage slavery is better than chattel slavery, and there could be some arguments, I understand our ancestors that day celebrating.
They had to do what they had to do.
We should be outraged.
We should be outraged.
They can celebrate.
The ancestors did the best as they could with what they were given at the time. They did not have the luxury of hindsight, of evolution, of knowing exactly what the fuck was going on. But we do. And we still celebrate the same shit without doing any work, without doing any recontextualizing of the holidays. Like, it's no critical thought towards it at all. It's just celebrate, eat barbecue, corn, come together. It's like a big family reunion. That's cool. Call it big family reunion. Don't call that shit Juneteenth, Freedom Day, Emancipation Day when we not free. Fuck that.
And so moving on, let's do a little math. I'll have you do the math. You are a resident sports expert, and you're our resident mathematician.
That's a funny guy. You're a funny guy.
So you had the era of Reconstruction that occurred in this era.
Mm-hmm.
But the party went from 1865 to 1877. You know what happened in 1877?
What happened?
Just one decade later, the northern troops were pulled out of the South by President Rutherford B. Hayes. And the only thing that was keeping them crackers off of our asses
troops
were the presence of federal Union troops below the Mason-Dixon line.
Because we were getting
and the Northern Republican emancipators negotiated behind closed doors with the Southern Dixiecrats, with the right racists that say, hey, leave us to our business in the South.
Leave us alone. Let us do what we do.
They pulled out the troops. So even if you want to celebrate emancipation, it only lasted between 1865 to 1877 when the Southern troops were pulled out. And after that, that's when Jim Crow, the Black Codes, and all that shit happened, right? And that was due to Rutherford B. Hayes. And you got the blackest name of any president since up until Barack Obama, Rutherford B. Hayes, and you betrayed black folks. What the blood clot? And even worse, in 1875, even before that, you had a Supreme Court case, right? And that Supreme Court case of 1875 basically said that that Congress, it's 1875, gotcha. that the Congress had overreached its authority when they imposed the Civil Rights Act of 1830 that gave voting rights, citizenship, and imposed on the states.
We've been fighting for this shit ever since.
States' rights supersede,
yeah.
And it allowed every state to establish its own black codes and its own laws related to segregation, the rights of black people, voting rights, and all of that.
Personhood.
And it re-enslaved us. We were re-enslaved just a decade after we got emancipation.
So again, what are we celebrating?
What the blood clot are we celebrating? Like, for real?
And we're still talking about voting rights. We're still talking about civil rights. We're still begging for jobs. We're still doing the same shit. We're still wage slaves.
You're literally celebrating Africans going from a state of chattel slavery to wage slavery. That is what you're celebrating.
That's what they call harm reduction, right? Harm reduction.
Really, it's what Dale Jones called you loosen up to get a tighter grip. When you got people in a bad situation, and the only reason they played footsies with us for that 10 years is because the U.S. did not want to provoke conflict with foreign interests. The French, the Spanish, the former colonizers, the British were all chomping at the bit, waiting for the South and the North to reignite the conflict.
So they could start.
And they were like, we can't afford an internal slave rebellion.
We need stability. They did it for stability.
Gotcha. And remember, it was the Africans. When he finally decided to arm Africans, Kwame Ture did quite a bit of research on this. And when they decided, the North, it was pretty much a detente. It was a stagnant conflict. And when Ulysses S. Grant and Abraham Lincoln says, let's give a few muskets to these African slaves. And they told those slaves, remember that dude that raped your mother? That castrated your father? Here's a musket. We give you permission to kill him. Civil War was over in less than a year and a half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's a part of history they don't want to talk about. And some other names for Juneteenth has been Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, and Black Independence Day. And before we open the phones, I would like...
James said you got to go one-on-one, fam.
What do you mean?
If we're going to mob on people, you got to go head up. Person you got.
Oh man, that ain't gangster.
James said you got to. Hey man,
see, every time
I don't break up. Gangster, he said he don't break up one-on-ones.
What is the power? I want to be like, you see the movie
That's
X
funny.
with Malcolm X pointing his finger. I want to be like Farrakhan. I want to create the atmosphere that
he said. I don't break up one-on-ones, man.
See, but let's offer, since we're gonna tear down Juneteenth. I think it is an absurd.
You got to offer another celebration.
What I don't say, we can acknowledge Juneteenth.
It's a day.
I would like to offer to the community some appropriate ways to recognize.
Let's do it.
Some solutions. The chattel enslavement.
Yeah.
Our efforts to secure freedom, dignity, and proper redress of our grievances, up to and including reparations. What can we do on Juneteenth to truly honor that atrocity, the Ma'afa? One thing I would say I think it should be a day of mourning. I think it should be a day that we talk about the ravages and atrocities committed against our ancestors, the mutilation, the rape, the lynching.
Yeah.
I think it should be a somber day. I don't think we should be dancing. I don't think there should be jubilation. I think we respect and honor our ancestors who did have that catharsis to say, hey, you're not a slave anymore, even though you're still working for the same piece of shit,
right?
Even though you're having to pay for what was imposed on you. You weren't given the option of repatriation. You weren't even given the option to leave where you were. That was a very threatening message. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect military poor.
Don't go to the
military
post.
Not be
don't go nowhere
in idleness.
You can't be idle.
And you have to work.
And you got to work. And you should work for the
person
that you just were enslaved
to. But you're going to get a wage. Go look it up. It's all over the internet.
It wouldn't set a wage.
It's called the General Order Number 3, issued by General Gordon Granger. That is what you're celebrating. That man, y'all, Papa Grangers. Now,
like it was basically the wild fucking West, because there's no regulation. There's no regulation in wage. There's no regulation in workplace.
No OSHA standards.
No standards. No safety standards. No child labor.
No child labor regulations or limitations.
Even the early years of the labor movement, they were violent. People died. People fucking died.
White folks had to die for basic rights. So, what did we have to do?
Getting fucking black lung and shit, and getting shot by the police and military. Like it's a fucking violent country, man.
So I believe
we technically, according to what you just read and eloquently stated, we should be working on Juneteenth. We should be celebrating the fact that we're wage slaves on Juneteenth. We should get our black asses to work on Juneteenth.
We kind of are celebrating wage slavery on Juneteenth. But I think
no. Black people go to Juneteenth to eat motherfucking barbecue and get corn and see they play cousins and dance and do jigs. That's what Juneteenth has.
And they can wash it down with some Juneteenth ice cream.
They had
a Wally World.
Yes. Juneteenth flavored Neapolitan ice cream.
I hope the chocolate part is thicker than the.
It's probably the thinnest part.
And one more part I left out. The Native Americans went to court and sued the federal government because every single recognized Native American every single recognized Native American tribe owns slaves. Every single one of them. When you talk about the Trail of Tears, before you fix yourself to cry about the Trail of Tears, those Native Americans had to walk the Trail of Tears, but they didn't have to carry their provisions because they had slaves. African slaves were walking, carrying the provisions of the Native Americans. While they're crying about their hardship and suffering, they had our ancestors in chains. And the Native American representatives of the recognized 5 so-called civilized tribes went to the court and said, listen, we are a sovereign nation, and we want to maintain slavery, even though slavery is outlawed.
Right.
Even though slavery is outlawed in the continental U.S. on the recognized native territories, we want to maintain slavery. So the last population to free Africans from chattel bondage was not Galveston, Texas, was not the Mason-Dixon line.
Right.
The last territories and the last population of people to free our people were Native Americans. So all you colored folks walking around talking about you indigenous, all you colored folks talking about I got Indian in my family. You got Indian in your family the same way you got white in your family through rape. Through rape of your enslaved ancestors.
And just because you got a loose,
want to claim that shit,
just because you got a loose curl, don't mean you got Indian in your family.
I'm just saying, we have
because your hair a little wavy. We don't have no friends.
Have no friends.
I had a brother saying the other day we should get what the Indians got, the Native Americans got. He said Indians. I'm saying Native Americans, and I said, you think the poor Native Americans own casinos? They're on the reservation. Do you want to know the mortality rates, the education rates, and the poverty rates on reservations?
Incarceration rates.
You want that? That's what you want?
The life expectancy. Native Americans have the highest per capita incarceration rate, even higher than black folks, have the lowest highest suicide rates, highest rates of alcoholism.
That's what you want.
I'm not saying we bang on the natives, but the truth is the truth.
The Hawaiian Silky. Yeah. the pink oil from Luster's that people used to put in their hair and act like they had Indian in their family.
Oh, but
Negro,
but
you just put sporting waves and you brush your hair all night.
I'm down to organize a day of rage, a day of mourning, a day of recognition, and a day of highlighting the atrocities. And we can even
day of political organizing. We can have food.
Or acknowledge a day where we assess where we are on our liberation and emancipation, because we are not yet free.
Let's look at the man. I wish that we had metrics to hold organizations and all these so-called influencer Black leaders on. That would be great. That'd be a great day
for Black Lives Matter.
to sit there.
I wish y'all leave Black Lives Matter alone.
Look at they charcuterie. Man, I saw that. Dog, I almost threw my computer. I saw them. They were at a table toasting to George Floyd with a charcuterie. I call it a charcuterie board. A charcuterie board and toasting wine to George Floyd at a mansion that they bought. I said, what the fuck is this?
Listen, y'all got to clarify something for me before I join in the BLM hate. Y'all told me back in 2019.
Whose job, by the way?
You and the rest of the Black community.
I wasn't even on Facebook in 2019.
Y'all told me
so let's be clear,
that Black Lives Matter was funded and controlled by George Soros and the white liberals to redirect and reorient Black struggle. So y'all told me that they were being paid by the white folks. So far as I know,
they got paid.
Hold on.
Let's go.
So far as I know, them sisters was scamming white folks. And if they scamming white folks and buying mansions off of George Soros money, what you mad fat? The scamming.
Cool.
So which is it? Did they rob the Black community?
Or
were they funded by the oppressor? Which one is it?
Well, I didn't say that. So you can relay that question to
Have
those
you heard
who said
that.
I did hear that.
You acknowledge that. I'm not talking crazy.
No. I heard that. I heard that George Soros founded the Black Matter movement.
Funded. Yes. Okay.
I heard that.
I'm not crazy then.
And it's not to say that he wasn't behind original machinations. It's not to say that he wasn't.
Right. And how much money have you given to Black Lives Matter?
I didn't give shit.
Neither have I.
Because I knew it was fugazi. I'm not giving no shit to no fugazi. Money. So people online, I don't know anybody personally that's giving money to Black Lives Matter movement.
They gave a dime.
The people on the internet say that they did, and if they did, they should be outraged.
Show the receipts.
You did, but
I know people that gave to Umar.
No, so
I personally know people that gave to Umar.
Oh, I know people who gave to Umar too.
And Umar ain't even living good off your money. If you scam me and struggling, you see your Umar's house.
You know why?
If you scam me, if you gonna scam me, live good.
First of all, he got the freshest fitteds ever. He always got a fresh fitted. Fresh coat.
That's because he be macking them white girls.
But I think
you see that video.
He was just talking to the sister, man. She was Persian. He was just, and she made a video. She was like, he wasn't hollering at me. He was trying to buy some candles. She was selling candles.
You know that's how old dudes mac. We both married. But if we ended up single again, what you selling, baby? That's how we do. When you reach a certain age, when you got a certain level of gray in your beard, you got to buy it. You know, hey, we know how it is. But anyway,
so, yeah. I forgot what I was about to say,
but all right, that's too much bullshit. Let's get to some.
Man, I forgot what I said. Talk about Umar buying candles, macking. She had cakes.
I just pull up my. Ask you what your.
She's Persian, man. She's Middle Eastern.
Things that make you smile. What numbers to dial?
We're gonna be here for a while.
We were talking about Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Y'all said. Number one, I don't know no Black person that gave a dime to them. Number one. Number two, y'all was saying in 2019 and 2020 that BLM was funded by the oppressor to trick us, that they were not a Black organization, that the white man was funding.
They've been buying
houses and all type of shit. In 2022, y'all claiming they scammed us. How does that work? Because let me tell y'all something. If the white man is funding me to lie to Black people, and I get my money, and I don't tell me what I do. Try to tell me if I'm going to buy that new Xbox.
Man, they went.
I'm still playing the Xbox.
Fam, they went from street activists to production companies in Hollywood. How the fuck do you do that,
dude?
How do you do that?
Can you explain it to me? Did they scam the Black community, or did they scam the white millionaires and billionaires? Who did they scam?
Sufficient to say,
because if they scam white folks, I think
one of the criticisms were that the local Black Lives Matter affiliate chapters weren't getting any of the funds
because they didn't scam. Of what funds? Of the white man's funds.
The national organization wasn't financially supporting the local Black Lives Matter chapters.
Now, that's an internal problem. You shouldn't have been joining, made no damn Black Lives Matter chapter. You should have had a Nation of Islam chapter. So you would still get robbed.
At least get some bean pies from it.
At least you got some bean pies and some final call papers to hustle. You could embezzle your bean pies.
That was a criticism. And then when the community called for financial transparency, it took them years.
Why y'all trying to get accounting of George Soros' money?
Get a transparent accounting of their funds.
I'm gonna tell you like Dame Dash taught me.
Like they told me.
You don't pocket watch. So the answer my question has yet to be answered.
Where you learn this lingo from?
From Dame Dash. You don't pocket watch.
Dame Dash is out here selling motor oil, cookies, all type of shit, making shitty movies on Tubi. Let's not talk about Dame Dash.
And I have to ask, did they rob the Black community? Now, the legitimate criticism is you did raise that money using suffering of our people.
Off the bodies of dead Black people.
Well, who did they get the money off of?
It looks like they got a lot of money from rich white people.
Okay.
Corporations.
So you got Black women living in mansions.
And legally they did stuff that other foundations They buy assets.
Right. They
invest in the stock market. You got
some Black women who is employing their men's, employing their people, getting their people jobs.
She gave her baby daddy a job. That's
so
how you know
hard,
he was laying it down.
So hard. And they ball so hard off of white liberal money.
Baby daddy got $1 million
off
contract.
Of white liberal
laying
money.
It down.
You know who we did give cash directly to?
Umar.
Barack Hussein Obama. Umar, but also to Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Yvette getting money?
And she getting money. Super chats off of her YouTube streams. Yeah.
Oh,
they produce like a
earned
YouTube
income.
Yeah.
That's earned income.
She's organized people.
I have no issue with earned income.
She's organized Black people for reparations.
Okay, well, she gonna give all that money back. She gonna get for every dollar you give Yvette, she gonna get from the white man. So these sisters scam the white man, and living fat off the white man money, and we mad. We mad about it.
What should the money?
What you think George Soros was gonna do with the money? You think he was gonna fund Kalashnikovs for Black guerrilla?
They're class enemies.
Yes, they are. Now that's a critique I can go after.
But they used Black suffering to enrich themselves. And then
so do all these goddamn rappers. All these rappers out here, I'm just saying what's happening in the streets. Jay-Z used Black suffering. It's hard not to kill niggas. It's like a full-time job not to kill niggas. Dr. Dre produced
He's not advocating to be a Black political organization.
Murder was the case that they gave me.
The rappers weren't advocating to be a Black political organization.
Black death is Black death. So you're saying you can use music, which is more influential than politics. Music is more influential on the psyche of African people than politics.
Free Young Thug.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't free Young Thug.
Exactly. So it just seems to me, and also, Farrakhan got a Gold Coast penthouse and a mansion.
He does? I know he wears leisure suits still.
Jesse Jackson had a penthouse for himself and his mistresses.
Man, there's so many stories about
Al Sharpton,
Jesse Jackson, and brown envelopes of money.
Al Sharpton got a luxury condo in Trump Tower.
Remember, he had one of his women. He was paying. He was using the NAN funds,
the National Action. Living fat off the
and
hog.
He got a gastro.
So he didn't. No, he did not. You're not gonna sit here and lie on Al.
Al Sharpton got a gastro, brother. Then how he go from 300 pounds to 100 pounds soaking wet with a big ass head?
Went on a hunger strike to protest the Vieques bombings, and when he went on that hunger strike for the Vieques bombings, his belly shrunk and his head grew. That was from a hunger strike. He went full Dick Gregory.
He probably got a BBL.
No, he did not. He went on a hunger strike. Y'all leave Al Sharpton alone. He got off the swine and got refined. Y'all act like y'all blind and lost your damn mind.
Now y'all here looking.
He did that for hunger striking for justice against the U.S. military-industrial complex. Look up the Vieques bombings and his protests, and they put him in a prison cell. Al Sharpton was locked up in the same cell where they put Marcus Garvey, in the Tombs in Brooklyn. Wow. And he said, I will not eat. I will not drink. He went on a full-blown hunger strike to stop the bombings of Vieques. Now, again, it's like what I said with Biden. There's a lot to criticize Al Sharpton on. But
not BBL surgery.
But he got off the swine and got
like
refined.
He had a gastro.
He got off the swine.
He had a gastro and a tummy tuck.
Shout out to Al Sharpton for being a good role model. Now, back to these Black Lives Matter. Y'all so mad about them scamming white folks. You gonna fight for the white man's money? You gonna fight to get George Soros back his money?
So black people should just accept grifting?
No, they didn't grift us. They went to the white people. They went to the white
tragedies of the black community to enrich themselves with white people.
Yes, and the white people got scammed. They didn't scam us. We knew they were. Y'all saw through Black Lives Matter. They scammed us by using our tragedies to enrich themselves. White people use our tragedy too. White people cause our tragedy. You gonna go after the people who cause your tragedy harder than you go after the people who exploit your tragedy? It seems to me.
Go at them equally.
And like I said,
you shouldn't just accept one because you don't call out the other.
Y'all made millionaires out of Farrakhan. Y'all made millionaires out of Malachi York.
Out of Tabitha Brown.
Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Tabitha Brown got a Target.
All these black cult leaders
deal.
And all these black organization leaders that y'all allowed to get millions of dollars off of black people. It just seems to me, y'all hatred of Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter just followed the formula. I'm not saying it's a good formula because I am a revolutionary, right? I don't agree with the formula, but y'all gonna start with Black Lives Matter and give Nation of Islam, give Umar, give the NAACP, give the Southern Baptists. We give over $1 billion.
Saying there's higher priorities on the grift?
Over $1 billion to the Black Baptist Church.
So you're saying
every goddamn Sunday.
So you're saying that we should have a priority list of grifters.
Can you go after Creflo Dollar first? It seems.
First of all, it's credit flow dollar, brother.
These TD snakes. Bishop Eddie Long took y'all money to the grave.
First of all, we need to get on TD Jakes for wearing skinny jeans. That's the first thing. That's my first issue. Brother, you 82 years old, you built like a walrus. Why are you wearing skinny jeans? First and foremost.
All I'm saying is
my grandmother loved TD Jakes, and if she was alive now, she would disown me.
Right. My brother buys TD Jakes books and gives money to the TD Jakes ministry.
The Potter's House.
So it just blows my freaking mind. Creflo Dollar. What's that dude? Reverend Price in California in his mega church. It's confusing to me. I'm playing devil's advocate, maybe.
No doubt.
But it just confuses me. All this outrage directed. I think the outrage is directed at Black Lives Matter because it's black women. Because black men been scamming and pimping our suffering and scamming and pimping our suffering for generations.
Maybe it is.
Going all the way back to Yahweh and Father Divine. Hey. For decades, black men have been pimping, promising us some freedom and relief from the oppression and taking our money and living lavish.
Or schools.
But all of a sudden, it just
schools
blows my...
that were never built.
Right. Umar was sitting on...
Umar been talking about an HVAC system for 3 years.
One thing I will say about Umar, the community did step up and call him out.
They did. Eventually, after like 10 years of grifting, a day late. Yeah, black folks are a day late and a dollar short all the damn time.
Freaking the Black Lives. So I'm down to go at full steam ahead and jump on Black Lives
equal
Matter
opportunity
with both feet.
Go after everybody.
But y'all not gonna blood clot get me to bang on Black Lives Matter when Farrakhan travels the whole world with full security detail and he ain't raked a leaf or painted a shelf. He ain't done nothing but tell people nonsense about Yaqub and big head scientists. And some little frail white man was living embodiment of Allah, Farad Muhammad, and he made millions of dollars. He didn't opened $1 million salam restaurant,
and he still got a conch.
And the damn salam restaurant was closed. It took them 10 years to open, and it wasn't open for a year and a half. And that shit cost well over $1 million. And I ain't heard nobody say nothing. So it's just saying, it seems like y'all banging on these sisters. And you know, I'm a simp, I guess. I got a simp.
You were called that. Somebody called you that today.
Let me go in my wallet and give you my alpha male card.
You get called a simp every day.
I'm gonna give you my alpha male card. Yes,
I'm just saying. I go on your post, and nonetheless, when I check them, what I do,
I got
somebody's calling you a simp.
Yeah, I'm a simp. Okay, fine, but I'm a simp with facts.
But you call somebody?
I'm a simp with data.
Did you say somebody was a simp for celebrating Father's Day?
No,
Father's Day is a day of simps.
Yeah,
because guess what? Father's Day falls on Freedom Day.
Oh yeah, Juneteenth and Father's Day is the same day.
Yeah. Simp Day.
Well, if I don't see you or speak to you, happy St. Joseph's Day to you, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Happy
St.
Joseph's Day to you.
I don't celebrate that bullshit.
Happy St. Joseph's Day to you.
I reject that. I do not celebrate my blackness.
I was going to actually ask you to mail my Father's Day card to my father because they live in Homewood. So I figured it would get there quicker if you put in the. But I think he's coming to the city, so I can give it to him.
Oh, you're going to see your father?
Yeah. Call your father.
No. I shout out to WC and the Mad Circle.
Call him.
Song,
Tell him you're wrong.
Daddy.
Tell me you're
I've
wrong.
been wanting to say this for the longest. I'm giving shots to moms because moms was the strongest. Because daddy abandoned me at an early age and shoved me and my baby brother my mother's way and come in Rome drunk every night.
Man, that's the day of forgiveness and atonement and healing.
Yeah, we atone. Shut up, Father. Anyway, I guess we done with demonizing Black Lives Matter, pocket watching Black Lives Matter. And let me just say this,
please.
People about to say, "Oh, Diallo's simping for Black Lives Matter." All I'm saying is,
Simpalo.
If you got people that have been scamming for 3 years in the same movement, in the same community, for people who've been scamming us for 30 years, and you start with the 3-year scammer while you still allowing the decade scammer.
Well, you know, people go after low-hanging fruit.
I question your sincerity about authenticity. I question your desire for authenticity.
Call you Diallo Simpieta.
But let's move on to St. Joseph's Day. Because what blows my mind?
What blows your mind?
Is that all these revolutionary, conscious, alpha black men out here
celebrating
like debutantes.
Celebrating fathers.
It's my day. They sound like Super 16.
So men showing love to other men is bad?
No. Men crying about some arbitrary corporate holiday.
Who's crying about
their day? You ain't been online during Father's Day? You know what I did one time as an experimentation?
Yeah.
I went online and I made a scathing post on social media. And I wished all single black fathers a happy Mother's Day. And I said, all you egg donors and all you women who don't want to step up and take your responsibility, I'm calling you out on this Mother's Day. And many of y'all are mothers. It just giving birth to a child don't make you a mother. You got to stay there and handle your responsibilities. And I'm wishing a happy Mother's Day to all these single fathers.
Yeah.
Not one woman got mad about it. Not one. I didn't get one woman coming on there like, brother, this is our day. Could you please? Not one.
What year did you do
this?
What year did you do
a few years back. I'm sure it's going to come up in my memory soon. And then I did the same thing on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Men got mad. I got everything. Boy, they went hard in the paint.
That's pretty funny.
So that tells you something.
Are brothers still getting mad about that type of stuff on Father's Day? I don't get on social media during Father's Day.
Why?
For what?
So the people can wish you a happy Father's Day.
I usually text me.
You stay posting your kids.
I post them time to time because I'm proud of them. I love them sometimes.
Yeah.
I be
watching you.
Hey man, moderator, get that shit off.
Oh wait, let me just
moderator. James, get on your damn job.
That means somebody paying attention. We getting spammed.
Naked HD fun, man. No, I don't get on social media during that day. I chill. You know what I'm saying? I reach out to people that I probably haven't talked to in a while.
Since we dealing with history, since we called out Juneteenth, let me just
call it out. St. Joseph's Day.
Right.
Break it down for the people.
a primitive early version of Father's Day was being celebrated in the Catholic nations of Europe since medieval times. It was St. Joseph's Day, and it was celebrated each March 19th. It commemorated Joseph, the husband of Mary, and how he raised Jesus as his own. Simp!
My biological didn't
Simping
bother.
when a simping is good.
First of all,
Joseph was upheld as an ideal example of earthly fatherhood. Our fathers were to reflect on this examples and emulate it with all children under their care, biological and otherwise. Now, I agree with that. But how all these alpha males, who don't celebrate Eurocentric holidays, and the only reason it's not called St. Joseph Day here is because this country was founded by white Protestants.
yeah.
And
Not
the white
Catholics.
Protestants been set tripping with white Catholics since the Middle Ages, right?
And they still set trip.
Right. So you are celebrating
This is a great
Christian
day.
white holiday if you celebrate St. Father's Day.
St. Father's Day.
St. Father's
I like St. Father's Day.
St. Joseph's Day.
St. Joseph's Day. First of all, shout out to Joseph. He did a good job. He raised Jesus.
Immaculate Conception.
He had to deal with the shame of people
God
saying,
busting off
man,
in his woman. But God didn't bust off in Mary.
No, it was
Because-
immaculate. It was immaculate. He thought of it.
So
It
God
happened.
sent which one of his archangels? Who did he send to
I don't. Was it Gabriel?
artificially inseminate Mary? Why didn't God just come down and
God had other
have
shit.
intercourse?
God had other shit to do.
But
We
he
got
can
other
do
shit
all
to do.
things. He's omnipresent. So he can be all places at once. He's here watching you blaspheme. At the same time, he's watching children be abused. And the same time, he's in the same room of all these other victims of
And
horrendous acts. God is everywhere at
He's
all
getting
times.
to it. He's getting to it. Making a list.
But you
checking
know why
it twice.
God did not impregnate Mary himself? Because women are unclean. Women are unclean. They are the living embodiment of sin. Their very form and function is sinful. And women are cursed through all generations through the pain of childbirth
And cramps.
because of tempting Adam.
Be your best.
So
yeah. So basically, women
do you
stank.
celebrate Father's Day?
Women stank.
According to the Christian Bible,
Yes,
and
I
the
celebrate
Islamic
Father's Day.
Quran and the Islamic Torah.
I
Yes,
celebrate
women
Father's Day,
are-
yes.
are
I
God.
got me and my sisters got our
You don't
father
do
a
Juneteenth,
gift, and
so you celebrate St. Joseph's Day. Okay,
I celebrate.
you don't
St.
celebrate
Joseph's Day.
Kwanzaa. You don't celebrate.
I stopped
Juneteenth,
celebrating.
but you celebrate.
If my
St.
father was
Joseph's Day.
if my father was a deadbeat, I wouldn't celebrate Father's Day.
Okay,
I celebrate Father's Day because I had a good father. I have a good father.
okay, you want to brag?
I'm not bragging.
You sound like you're bragging.
I was
you know,
lucky.
I have
I was-
some
I
issues,
was
some
lucky.
unresolved issues with my father, but rub it in.
I
Go
had
ahead.
two. I
Brag.
had two. One
Two
was
fathers.
one
you
was
greedy
terrible.
Bastard.
One
Oh, one
I had a
was bad.
Joseph.
Oh.
I had a Joseph. He was the man that raised me is technically my stepfather,
Mm.
but he raised me.
And you mad at him?
No, that's
Oh,
why,
he was the
that's why I
good father.
celebrated. He was a
Oh,
good
he
father.
was the good father.
He was a
Your
good father.
biological didn't bother.
No, he didn't bother.
Oh, biological didn't bother.
We got
Okay.
yeah, we resolved our issues like 2 months before he died. So
okay.
yeah,
All right.
So my
good.
stepfather,
That's a
yeah.
heartwarming story.
so that's why I celebrated because I celebrate
call
my father.
My uncle Chris. He was one of the
It's like a father figure.
most positive father figures in my life. So shout out to Uncle Chris.
I had an Uncle
I
Chris.
call
We
him-
had this conversation. I have an Uncle Chris too, who's like a father figure.
Word?
Yeah.
My Uncle
Yeah.
Chris. Beat your Uncle Chris
Oh
down.
no,
You
well,
wanna
my Uncle
compete.
Chris told
Every
me.
time you keep trying to one up me. Every time I
Ain't nobody
got
trying to
something,
one
you
up
go,
you, brother.
Oh my God.
Ain't nobody trying to
Go
one.
on, bro.
I was finna
I
say
can't have
that my
nothing.
uncle. I know about Boogie Down Productions because my Uncle Chris used to rap Criminal Minded all the time. That's how I know.
Word. Oh,
Yeah,
word.
that's how I
That's
know.
Cool. Everybody.
He
I
al-
wish every young black man had an Uncle Chris.
me too. The opening line to the second verse, he did that all the time. That's how I was like, oh, that shit is tight.
That's
Do
tight.
not promote
Shout out.
violence. Yeah.
So I,
Shout out to all.
I call
So
my-
I use it as a day just to connect with a lot of black men that meant a lot to me in my
same
journey.
thing. I make all these calls.
I do. I just
Because I'm an
I-
alpha. I don't be on the phone like that. Females be on the phone. So
you use carrier
Father's
pigeons
Day is
like
the
a real
one
man.
that- yeah, I'm a man.
Carrier
Smoke
pigeons.
signals.
Pony Express.
So but real talk, you
Yeah,
know,
so I use it
gotta-
as a day just to connect
I
with
gotta
other people.
call all of my mentors and father figures, you know, because I did have some men that stepped up when my biological didn't bother.
Yeah.
So shout out to Uncle Chris.
I celebrate Mother's
I
Day.
have to call, and he's an alpha male too, so we don't like, hey uncle, hey nephew,
hey.
grr, and we grr and we growl, and then we hang up because we real men. Ain't nobody getting into all that mushy stuff. Alpha status.
I used to be really terrible. Like I didn't buy gifts, I didn't acknowledge stuff, like I didn't do anything on days. So I've been trying to be better to create memories and to give people their roses while they're here, man. Right. What annoys the shit out of me is when people start crying and doing the most when people die, and you didn't say anything nice to them when they were alive. I hate that.
I do that sometimes.
So I try to make sure that I tell people how I feel about them.
Yeah, well, I got some people that are alive right now that I'm not gonna say nothing good about them until after they gone.
That's fucked up, man.
I'm just hardcore, man. I'm telling you, I'm over here alpha-ing.
That's fucked up, man. You should say it to them. Say it to them
not
now,
too
man.
Hard, man. Emotions and stuff.
You're not hard. Get out of here.
Emotions.
Brothers got to show love to other brothers, man.
Yeah, man.
That's how we build brotherhood.
Man.
I'm telling you, the organizations that I used to be a part of, we always crumbled because the brothers were very reluctant to share vulnerable stories about their past.
Hell no.
We didn't really know each other.
Exactly.
We hung out with each other. We did community events with one another, but we didn't know how to deal with one another.
Slap box.
We couldn't cooperate.
We cooperate. If you're trying to build a carborator, you're trying to
it's like project based, but I'm talking about
exactly
right, but that doesn't hold the fabric of shit together. You gotta you gotta be able to talk to one another and be there for one another. You know what I'm saying?
What's understood don't need to be
what
stated.
Could a brother do for me? You know what I'm saying? It's like this book that you gave. This is brotherhood. Do y'all
I thought you'd forget about that.
No, I got it out.
Let's open the phones.
Open the phones. And while you open the phones, I'm going to pick a poem. I'm going to theology and religion.
Please
man.
Call in to
First of all, what happened to Faye? Huh? Faye's poem. What happened to Faye? Was Faye fictitious character?
No,
was Faye somebody
girl
real?
I went to college with. She was a classmate of mine in Brooklyn College.
Gotcha. I like this poem. Faye's poem. I'm gonna read it.
We weren't together or nothing before. If my wife's listening, I didn't mess with this girl. I didn't write no poem.
First of all, even if you were, that's before her.
Huh?
Even if you were, that's before me and go. She can't have no claim to right.
Cheating. You ain't heard of retro.
No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. There's no retro.
Every woman I messed with before I met her, there's retroactive.
That's because women got the book on manipulation down pat. They got every trick in the book.
Yeah,
they're like a magician when it comes to the tactics.
For you,
no man.
But no, this is just a friend of mine. I tried to devangelize her.
To forgive is truly divine, but to forget means you would go through things a second time. Keep all past experiences in your mind. You don't have to be foolish to be kind. God has a wrath, and so should you. If you are sincere, she will bless what you do. There's a time for war and a time for peace. Never forgive your enemies until they're under your feet. That shit is dope.
Wow.
That shit is dope.
It's been a while since I heard that.
That shit is dope, man.
What's that?
Help me understand.
Okay, this is the last poem. You already read one.
Help me understand. This is a good poem too, man. I'm spitting, man.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this shit up.
And then we're gonna open the phone.
Wrap this shit up. Help me understand by propaganda. I don't know it all. I'm the first to admit, and much of what I'm exposed to, I tend to forget. If one doesn't know, there is no shame in that. Just take time to study and uncover the facts. One thing that escapes me to this day is why black men pray to Allah, change their names, and embrace Islam while trying to memorize the Quran. When I look to the east, I see a beast whose deception and violence has only increased. Arab hostility preceded the white man, and they wear white sheets like the Ku Klux Klan. Many black nations were destroyed by tactics and weapons Arabs employed. So the death and confusion brought by Islamic nations paved the way for European invasions. Do black Muslims remove this from the equation when addressing white world domination? I don't speak for everyone. I'm just one man. So can someone help me understand? I could just do one page, man. This is dope, though.
No, finish it.
You want me to finish it?
Wrap it
okay,
up.
Cool. Today, Arabs should still have African slaves, working them to early graves. In Mauritania, Senegal, and even Sudan, Arabs actively enslaved the black man. A beautiful woman and the youth do a little research to support the truth. Read Samuel Cotton or Dr. Clark. Contact Amnesty International to help you start to dispel all the Arab lies that distort and ignore the cries of our brothers and sisters across the seas, victimized by Arab hatred and greed. So fuck the Taliban, Saddam, and Gaddafi. The motherfuckers don't look like me.
Wow.
Ooh. This will be my stance until someone helps me understand. And when Arafat and the PLO claim they have nowhere to go, they're just reaping what they sow. Wow. Black people, y'all just better know. Collectively, we have no true friends. Only on each other we should depend. All we need is one another, not them Islamic mother suckers. Praise Allah all you like, but that's like saying Jesus is white. I know the oppressor is never right, no matter he be Arab or he be white. Religion should serve the people, not be used to divide and deceive you. Islam and Christianity are the enemy's beliefs, and Egypt ain't in the goddamn Middle East. Assalamu alaikum. I said God, not God. God.
I didn't say that. That's not.
I edited it. That's a P. Diddy remix.
It's a P.
That's an E-Biddle.
Making it sound more hostile than it was.
I don't want peace until I'm free. Having brown skin don't make you African. Islam was never for the black man. That's one thing I do understand.
Wow.
That shit was prolific. No, first of all, this book is great. I'm gonna read it. That's the goal. Every week I'm reading a poem.
It ain't enough poems in there to go around.
We're gonna make new ones. We're gonna collab. We're gonna collab on a poetry book, man. Come on. The people want it, man. The people want it. We can make a Black Power mixtape, baby. Come on.
I haven't written a poem in over 20 years.
There's no better time to start.
Well, let's do a rap group. Let's
do it.
Struggling middle-aged rapper.
That's great.
My shit is about to pop. My shit is about to brrr.
Let's do it.
All right, the phones are open.
The phone. What's the number? You gotta give them the number.
The phone number, I'll say it slowly. 312-985-7834.
34.
312-985-7834. You can call in live. We'll bring you right on the air. State your name and or alias and where you are calling from, and ask your question, make your comment, or offer your criticism on the politics and bullshit. BS show.
I would extend the invitation to other people, our listeners. Like if there's artists, with their permission, if you write poetry, revolutionary poetry, send it to us.
Or sensual poetry, erotic poetry.
I'm gonna do erotica.
Why are you trying to be
erotica.
Righteous? Don't come at me with that old righteous.
She opened her Pan-African blouse.
That's not it. Yeah.
Her dashiki.
Yeah.
Show the cakes.
But I stopped publishing that book. I think I've grown beyond many of those ideas I expressed in that book.
Sounds like to me because in this poem, you're actually like, if you're gonna do religion, use it to,
Yeah.
Now you're like, don't do that shit at all.
Yeah.
You were even going after the vibes and energy and universe people. You was hurting feelings, man.
But I also support BDS and Palestinian liberation.
As you should.
I oppose Zionism.
Those are intelligent positions.
That was not an endorsement of Zionism. It was just a statement that Africa for the Africans.
Africa for the Africans.
And history is the blood of every woman and man. No call. See, and people complain I don't open the phones. And then when we open the phones,
this last 30 minutes.
Oh, wait. If you try to call, hold on. I didn't activate the phone. Wait 1 second. Where's the thing?
How you gonna tell people to call? You didn't activate the phone line, man.
Oh, here we go. Okay, now you can call in. If you've tried to call and you didn't get through, that was on me.
Yo,
I don't know why I gotta handle the boards, man. I'm the talent. I'm the talent.
You want to switch places?
Yes. Trading places. That was a good movie.
You're the talent on the face.
Yeah. So now you can call in. If you are watching on the stream, the number should be scrolling across 312-985-7834.
Empire.
A couple of dozen people listening. Now is your time. Question, comments, and criticism. Everybody who want to holler at me for some of the blasphemous things I've said. Well, I've been going to war. I've been at war. And I can't even mobilize you And James gassed me up, put some
all,
gasoline in my tank, telling me you're gonna back me up.
It's better than sugar. First of all, I will back you up. James said he don't break up one-on-ones.
I want to be in a position. I would like to know what it feels like to be like, yo, get him.
So you want to be a cult leader?
Mm-hmm. No, I want to be a true thug.
You know, you want the power of the cult leader.
Listen,
you want the power and the benefits of the cult leader.
Young Thug is locked up.
He had a cult.
So I want to be middle-aged thug.
Wow.
Yes.
That
a whole new genre. I'm creating a whole new
genre.
A whole new genre for myself. Middle-aged thug. Namdi said you can't call because you're at work. Well, if you can't call and you want to type in a question, comment, or criticism in the comments, we'll read it then.
Man, yeah. If you got something to say, please say it.
You see, I had said that.
How you say her name?
While we're waiting on a call, if we get a call, right?
Yeah.
Namdi. I said, y'all out here saying.
First of all, that's real shit. You at work and you listening to some real shit. First of all, I gotta applaud. That's real shit, man.
I don't never do shit at work.
Getting paid to get liberated.
Comedy time. But y'all don't like scammers. Y'all don't like it when black people scam the white man. You get to work.
Why
you turn off this show
in these
and get to work.
Why do you keep
you
putting
mad
me
at
into
Black
categories?
Lives Matter for scamming white folks.
I said
scam away BLM.
When I saw them with their shark coochie boards toasting champagne glasses to George Floyd, yeah, that pissed me off.
Oh, they were supposed to pour out a little, but that's champagne. You pour out.
Why are you invoking his name to begin with?
Because that's how they got their money. They at least acknowledge it.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
But it ain't no. But like I said, you got a long list of scammers you got to back up on before you start with Black Lives Matter.
He said he'll make sure nobody jumps in. That's a friend. That's a friend. But what would you do if he starts losing? If Diallo's getting his ass whooped, James, would you stop the fight?
Yeah,
would you intervene? Would you ride with him? I told you I would ride. I would have rolled with you.
I need to hang out with grimy cats.
I would have rolled with you.
I gotta hang out with grimy cats.
I get down.
Righteous. Don't come at me with that old righteous.
Look, man. I'm not no tough guy, but I will ride with you, man.
I'm not a tough guy either. That's why I need to have a posse. But anyway,
if my brother's in trouble, I will always help them
out. All
right,
break it up. That's enough. That's enough.
If my brother's in trouble, I will fight for his life.
It's all good.
If my brother's in trouble, so am I.
I don't have no beef with nobody.
I love that song.
I ain't got no active beefs. Now, if it was a couple of years back, I had a couple of active beefs.
Yeah.
But they all been resolved peacefully. Peacefully.
So, beef is when you need 2 guns to go to sleep.
Beef is when your moms ain't safe walking the streets.
Beef is when I see you.
Guaranteed to be an ICU. And I'm through. I tell you, Biggie Smalls won that battle.
What battle? With Tupac?
Yes.
I don't know, Doug.
Man, listen, who high, who not? Tell me who dropped, who sell out the stores.
Man, hit him up.
Who jewels got popped.
The thing about Tupac was that he went personal, man. He started the song with, "That's why I had relations
and that
with
was
your
a lie.
woman."
That was a lie.
It's never been confirmed to be true or false.
Faith Evans said she didn't do that.
I never heard Faith say that.
Yes, she did.
But if she said it, I'll take your word for it. But I never heard that.
Believe black women.
But I think in the opinion of the masses, Tupac beat Biggie in that beef battle.
It's the same thing with Nelly and Tech Nine. Y'all just go after who the white man put.
Remember when Nelly?
Y'all go for who got all the glitz and gammas. Y'all don't
remember when Nelly
talent.
fought KRS-One? They had their little battle. They battled. Yeah.
Oh, and you know what KRS-One said to Nelly?
What?
Just selling 1 million albums doesn't make you the authority. It just means you sold out to the white majority. That settles that. You can't go off of album sales because this is a white
Nelly said, "I'm tired
country.
of people saying what's real hip hop. Half the time it be them dudes whose albums flop.
Right? Yeah, your album's gonna flop.
Ships done suck and ain't left the dock. Mad that I'm hot. Mad that you're not.
Really
just give me the rocks. Give me the plaques.
Blast Master KRSONE.
At that time, KRS-One was Larry Holmes status. He was flabby and sick. He was making whack lyrics. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't the 80s.
Vegan.
What does that mean? He's a flabby vegan. He's a Larry Holmes vegan.
What a relief. When will this poisonous product cease? This
not on Juneteenth. Ribs, baby backs.
Where are we? Oh, You know, I currently got this post.
I don't have any beef with ADOS and FBA.
I do.
I give them credit for
I do have beef with them
for highlighting reparations
but
and politically organizing Black people to do something politically. I respect that.
Disgusting.
I respect that.
Hate ADOS.
Now the name is ridiculous. I respect the
ideology. What there's nothing there to respect. I hate ADOS. I hate Foundational Black, but that's not personal. Yvette Carnell doesn't need 2 gas to go to sleep. Yvette Carnell, her mom's a safe walk in the streets.
B.I.G.
Yvette Carnell does not need to make her enemies start her Jeep because it's not personal. It's ideological.
Hey, man.
It's ideological.
She the God, whatever she identifies as, she is that for reparations. The God pronoun, whatever pronoun she uses. So she looks like Kid from Kid and Play. So I don't know.
Who?
Yvette Carnell.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Charlie Baltimore.
Charlie Baltimore. She was cute. She had.
You know what you know why I like her? She said, "I'm
like
crushing the player haters in a purple Navigator." I love that line.
Because Biggie wrote her lyrics.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He was dealing with her.
So what's her
him and Little Kim.
Huh?
He was writing both of their lyrics.
Oh, and you sitting here talking Tupac with a Biggie shirt on?
I always say that. I say that Biggie and Pac are my 1A, 1B. It's Gemini season. Gemini season is next week, so I had to wear the Biggie shirt before Gemini season's over because he's a Gemini. Holla.
I don't know.
Our birthdays are a couple days apart.
That astrology is of the devil.
You want to sit Mo on my living room floor, play Nintendo with Caesar Leo. Pick up the phone, say Papa not home, sex all night, man, head in the mall.
You can't mess with me. That Tupac.
Man, he was cold.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm about to dead the phones. Y'all left us hanging. It's like we gave the community a high five. Got 24 people. And nobody call in 312.
They don't want to talk, man. They've been talking. Black people have been talking all damn day. They've been talking to their kids, talking to their bosses, talking to their employees. They're not trying to talk no more.
Don't message me after the show complaining that the phones weren't opened up. Because I genuinely would forget to open the phones.
I would like to talk about Lori Harvey.
Lori Harvey.
Yeah, I want to talk about Lori Harvey.
And how?
Because I don't understand why men are hating on Lori Harvey. She playing the game that men play. Like, you mad because she's playing it the way y'all play it?
Is she though?
She loves them and leaves them and moves to the next guy. Well, once these dudes serve their purpose in her life, she is
that
moving
really what's happening?
On. I heard that she was with Diddy's son, Michael B. Jordan.
That's heavy to mess with a father and a son.
Future was a Future. It was some other, like she has like a cadre of high value alpha males that she was smashing and dealing with, and she doesn't commit to any of them.
And why is the community mad about that?
Well, black men are saying, well, Michael B. Jordan is the type of man that you all say that
he was a high value.
He's a high. Why? Is it cool when women play with those type of men's feelings? You say that's what you want. That's what she got, and she still played them. Why they in their feelings? She just played the game.
That's weird as hell.
First of all, she's in her early 20s. Like, why would she settle down anyway? Like, you're young.
I hope
move around.
To me, I look at it from a class perspective. I'm very happy when wealthy black people fail to procreate because we don't need no more rich black people. We class enemies.
He said Michael B. Jordan was chasing mad white snow last week. Either you mean white women or cocaine, or both.
No, he don't look like he on the Booger Sugar.
Booger Sugar.
Shout out to Bullsh Sugar.
All I'm saying is Lori Harvey played the game the way the game's supposed to be played. Leave her alone, man. She's doing her thing.
Wow, this tea is bitter as hell.
The funniest thing about Lori Harvey is that's Steve Harvey. I don't think they're biologically related.
They aren't?
I think that's a stepdaughter.
Bless her heart, because you know what I was about to say.
She's only famous because she's a stepdaughter.
You know what I was about to say.
She doesn't have any musical talent or anything like that, to my knowledge.
You know, I was about to say something I didn't need to say. I was about to say that you probably don't want to mess with Lori Harvey because she got some of them coon genes inherited from her father.
She must got that,
but she ain't got none of them coon genes.
She might have
from Steve Harvey.
She got coon DNA, but she must got that fire.
From who?
She got that fire.
Is Steve Harvey, her biological father.
I think that's her stepfather.
Oh, so okay, you can mess with her then.
Yeah, because maybe her dad was a real African.
Yeah. Because
we don't hear about that dude.
Listen,
that's probably why.
Brothers, if you out here messing with a sister, check her pops. If he not a solid dude, then you make sure the father's a solid dude.
Steve Harvey's terrible.
Yeah, I don't like Steve
and he's not
Harvey.
even funny. Like what?
He's funny.
No one can tell
remember
me
that.
No one can tell me a funny Steve Harvey joke.
I can tell you a funny Steve Harvey joke.
Please, enlighten me.
Remember when Mike Tyson got into a fight with Mitch Green?
No.
Oh my God.
No, man.
I'm sick of having to school you on Black history.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Carter G. Woodson.
Mitch Green stepped to Mike Tyson in a fight in the street, right?
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson did what Mike Tyson was trained all his life to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you see this eye right here. See Mitch Green's eye?
Yeah.
So Mitch Green was a professional fighter, right?
Yeah.
And he
got his ass.
Look,
oh my God.
Look.
Did he lose his eye?
Huh?
Did he lose that eye?
Oh, wait, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. So Mitch Green stepped to Mike Tyson in the street and said, Mike Tyson, you scared of me? I'ma beat your ass, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's a sissy. Mike Tyson's a punk.
Man,
right?
He lumped them
and
eyes
so
up.
Now I'm gonna tell you the joke.
What's the
right?
joke?
And so this was back in I think the either the late 80s or the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
This dude right here stepped, and you see he's in front of a microphone, right?
Yeah.
And so Steve Harvey said, Mitch Green gave a press conference after getting into a fight with Mike Tyson, and his eye was like this, right? And then he said at one point, the interview was taken over by his eye. And his eye was like, wait, why y'all listening to him, right? I'm the one that got
the eye was telling the story.
Busted, right? The eye took over
funny.
the interview, and then he said, "I'm sitting here," and he said, "The eye said, why did he punch me in the eye when it was the mouth talking the shit? He should have punched him in the mouth." And then Pete this, watch this. He was like, when he saw Mike Tyson about to punch, he said Mitch Green's eye went, ah! So that's that shit's funny.
You probably said it funnier than
I didn't
him.
even tell it. That's what. So you asked me for I don't like Steve Harvey.
You delivered.
He used to have some pretty funny stand-up. He had that down home humor. Like he used to talk about black down home stuff early in his career when he had
the high top, the fake high top, the fake high top. That was fake.
Man, I'm sick of you.
That was a unit.
Tearing down.
That was a unit. It was too perfect.
Hero.
It was too perfect. It was too black.
Everybody
It was too. The hairline was too sharp with the Steve Harvey line. And look at me.
So
shout out to
Steve
Manny
Harvey did have some funny lines. I could give you more.
Okay. That's not a good use.
He had already peaked when he did the Kings of Comedy. He had already peaked. You got to go.
I watched the Steve Harvey show. I watched Me and the
Harvey,
Boys. I watched the Steve Harvey show.
Steve Harvey show was corny.
Shout out to Romeo. He died. He was from Milwaukee. Romeo.
The problem is, you know what happens to comedians when they not hungry no more?
Yeah, they're not funny anymore.
If you go watch, and I don't mean hungry for fame, I mean hungry for food. Skinny Steve Harvey
hungry
was
for
funny
suits.
as hell.
He introduced the whole
chunky.
First of all, Steve Harvey really started, all this nauseating relationship talk, bird babble that I hear every fucking day.
Listen.
Steve Harvey started that with that think like a man, act like a woman shit.
He ran out of ideas. Let me tell y'all something.
When people were doing book clubs over that damn book.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, they ain't got nothing better.
That shit was terrible.
Let me tell you something.
Then doubled down and made terrible movies about the book.
Let me tell y'all something.
Steve
Harvey.
Is he modeling?
Stop being funny when he stopped being hungry. When he got here. Now, this is the funniest thing Steve Harvey has ever done.
Fuck, man.
Has ever. This
dude is oiled up. Oiled.
Steve.
Coconut oil.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is
jojoba oil. He got all the oil, all the essential oils. Rosemary quartz. You know what I'm saying? He got that Jamaican castor oil, and that shit stick.
You want to see his personal trainer? This is the guy who got Steve Harvey into shape.
Dog, is this dude?
That's his personal trainer.
Who? Dog, what?
What?
First of all, the brother. Why is the brother sitting on a lion's head? It's
Posing.
It's some hoochie daddy cowboy shorts.
He's posing.
That's oh my god.
He's posing.
It's over for us.
It's an artistic.
It's over
photo.
for us.
It's a classy artistic.
It's over
photo.
for the black community. It's over. We are doomed.
That is the brother who's
Wrap
teaching you
this
how
shit
to
up.
act. That's the man you taking advice from.
First of all,
He can't even advise himself.
First of all, I support self-care and brothers getting in shape and doing their thing, being healthy, looking good. Like I support that shit.
We should do a shirtless episode.
But that is some weird. That's some weird fucking shit right there, man.
Diesel?
That's weird, dog.
Getting diesel?
That's
Ain't
weird.
Weird.
Why you so
weird about being diesel?
First of all, why are you so oily?
Cause it's
why are you?
for
Why is that man riding a lion's head?
For glamour. You ain't got no class. You ain't never been around nice things. You ain't never had nice things. That's why when you see nice stuff,
man, that's just
you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know how to
bozo behavior.
You don't know how to appreciate. That's who I might be for next Halloween. I might be Diesel Steve Harvey. I bet you I win the contest then.
Only if Mingo votes. Only if the kids vote, you're losing. If Mingo votes, you might win.
Is to do some sit-ups and get me some Michael Jordan.
You just need to stay away from bad wigs.
Get some dad jeans. Get some dad jeans.
Shave my beard. No. Go as a dude in the cowboy hoochie daddy shorts. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Get squats. Get some squats. Get on the leg machine. Get your quads developed.
I can't pull that look off, man.
Why is Steve more oily than the cowboy?
Because it wasn't Steve's photo. It was his photo shoot.
He got a tan.
Hey.
He's bronzed. Hey. They put some bronze tanner on him.
Hey.
And they put jojoba oil and all Crisco.
Jojoba oil. Hey.
It's called jojoba.
Jojoba oil.
I don't know how to say it.
It's oil.
I use it, but I don't know how to say it. It's great oil though.
Oil. Listen. Steve Harvey is promoting healthy living and fitness to the community.
First of all, it looked like his abs were sprayed on. That's what it looks like.
That's why
it looked like he got a t-shirt with abs.
All I got to do is shave and blacken my mustache, get a thicken and blacken my mustache. Take this off. Give me some Michael Jordan dad jeans.
Just stay away from Tyler Perry wigs. That's what killed you. The Cicely Tyson wig killed you. In that, put the picture back up. Last 10 minutes. Let's talk about this picture, man. Come on, man. Because you was mad at me for not saying that you should have won.
Yeah, I should have won.
And I'm saying I didn't tell you to put that wig on. I didn't
pick the low-hanging fruit.
You should have won as Chadwick. You would have won.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to.
You should have won as Killmonger. You could have won as the Revolutionary.
Right, but I try to bring something extra. I try to put some real creativity.
You tried to be Cicely Wick.
I try to put some creativity.
Cicely Tyson Wick. That's what you tried to be.
Who was I the previous Halloween?
Who were you? Too. So you've never won. You've never won a Halloween.
It's hollow green because it's all vegan.
That's great.
It's all
That's
vegan.
Great.
So,
you've never won.
No. I'm gonna take it down. I thought
you've never won. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. That's terrible. It's terrible.
My hair was disheveled because I was in a shootout.
You look like
you
look like a volunteer drama teacher at a choice school. They don't pay you. They don't pay you.
I should have had the guns to pull it off. I should have had.
They paid you in Kari shells.
I had guns for the costume.
And you didn't put them in the pictures.
I just thought this was more intimidating.
You thought this Steve Harvey like seductive John Wick, Cicely Tyson look. You look like you're. Does not look intimidated.
Intimidation. That's what I was going for. Intimidation.
You looking like you're trying to seduce.
John Wick.
And you mad you didn't win? You be mad at yourself. You never won. You've never won a contest.
I haven't won.
That's a better costume.
A tank top. I don't know. You I ain't gonna have you here having me.
You're fourth place. Is Mingo?
No, I actually won second place, but there's
you
no
won
second place.
place.
There's no second place. There's no second place.
I don't know what to say, man.
So
you know what? You should let the callers decide your Halloween costume this year.
No, because y'all gonna have me something lame, man. I'm trying to win.
No, they might help you.
Listen, do you know our Halloween come with a prize? We let the public vote.
What's the prize?
Candy, vegan candy bars.
You can buy that shit yourself.
No, you can't. We only get them once a year. We only get them once a year.
It's a terrible prize.
Yeah, it was.
The prize should be something you can't get yourself.
Well, we buy these vegan candy bars. It's a whole like plethora of vegan treats, right? And we
the finer things, when nice things.
When we post the costume pics online, we vote.
Yeah.
And whoever gets the most votes wins the pot. And then when my wife wins, she doesn't like eating all that candy, so she uses it to pit us against each other in kind of a post-Halloween hunger game,
like a game of Risk,
right? So she'd be like, can you do this? You know who I was?
She's diabolical, man.
You should have seen my 2020 costume.
I remember this shit, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck you were on this one.
What
is that?
It's Rico Rodriguez.
From what?
From Just Cause. I got the hoverboard and I got the damn gun.
First of all, he has a hoverboard. You have a skateboard.
Well, man, listen.
Your gun isn't cool. Nobody even knows that.
You don't know Rico Rodriguez.
Only video game nerds know that.
Well, I was Rico Rodriguez. You see I got his. You
didn't even do a wheelie. You should have done
I did do one.
Your shit is flat. Your skateboard is flat. You don't even got the appropriate pose for the hoverboard. Your shit looks safe.
I was Rico Rodriguez of Just Cause, which I love that game, by the way.
And you're getting low. Look at your knees.
That's what he did. I'm replicating. I'm creating.
Get your knees to your elbows. Freak O's.
Let me tell you something.
Your character choice, your costume choices are trash.
I try to be creative.
You got to be relatable.
I try to get a community what they want.
Nobody wanted that. What were you the year before that?
What was I?
Some other unidentified, non-relatable costume.
What was I? You going too far back. What was I in? That was 20. Because we skipped a year because of the pandemic.
She said she got mad respect for your costume failures.
What? Hey, okay. Keep your respect. I tell you what you do with your respect. My costumes
failures are nothing but lessons.
Listen.
And you're not learning the lesson. You're not learning the lesson of picking better costumes.
Oh, I know who I was.
Who were you?
I was who was I think one year I was like Freddy Krueger.
Mm-hmm.
I was Black Freddy Krueger, and I was Black Rico Rodriguez. And
you keep saying his name like people know.
Who?
I was Black,
you don't know
I was Black Rico Rodriguez.
You know who Jason? I was Black Jason Voorhees one year. The year before that, I was Jason Voorhees. I had the machete and the mask.
Okay.
And then
that's low hanging fruit.
Didn't win.
That's low. Freddy Krueger was low hanging fruit.
That's why, right. I'm like, yes. I'm like, this is weak. Let me try to put some real pizzazz in my costume. And that's the year I said, I'm gonna be Rico Rodriguez. I'm gonna be Rico Rodriguez.
Right. You should have had a wig on that one.
I got the
well, you ain't got the hair. You ain't got the wig.
Well, that's the next year I improve. Every year I leveled up.
And you got a throwaway wig. Get a better wig.
Well, I was more focused on the props. The gun. He's got this wrist rocket and the hoverboard.
Go as Static Shock. Go as Meteor Man.
I had the leather jacket. I had the black boots.
Yours is pleather.
I had it down.
Your jacket is pleather.
Yeah, of course.
His jacket is leather.
Well,
yeah, we don't want that shit.
Digital rendering.
Yo, go as Meteor Man.
He's whack.
Go as Blank Man. First of all,
I could do Blank Man.
Put some respect on Meteor Man's name.
And I wouldn't have to wear a wig if I was.
That's true.
Meteor Man was whack as hell.
That
was the whack.
Ain't nobody bad like the Meteor Man. That's my shit.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna blow y'all away next Halloween.
Song said with you or without you. I'm calling on the Meteor Man.
See, I try to do things from the heart. I'm a big fan.
You do things for the heart.
I love the Just Cause games.
Okay.
I like the John Wick movies. So I keeps it real.
You didn't look like John Wick.
On Halloween, next vegan Halloween.
You should have had a sign that says I'm John Wick, because I wouldn't have thought you were John Wick. You should have had something to say.
That's why I put myself up next to the character.
You had to do that for it to be relatable, because we wouldn't be able to know it without that picture. Because
but then when you see that, you
look like Stanley the drama teacher.
Yo.
Who gets paid in curry shifts.
Well, anyway.
So the next 2 weeks, Brother Diallo is in New York, boom bap rapping.
I'm
going to Harlem bodegas.
I'm gonna be in the cipher. Word is bond, son.
But we're going to try to do some sort of show remotely for the next 2 weeks, and we'll be back at Q4 in July.
Yes,
after Independence Day.
Like, share, subscribe.
Keep doing that. We keep going up.
Support and love for Politics X Bullshit.
We appreciate it,
and we support it, and we appreciate it. And I
it's
guess
all good, man.
Y'all can't come at me for not opening the phones. The phones were open, but we didn't
want to talk to us
this week. But it's all gravy.
Well,
we'll talk to you.
Namdi was at work. I don't know. I told you nobody wants to talk, man. They've been talking all day.
Well, apparently the black community is no longer in favor of black people getting over on rich white folks.
Yes, we are. Just don't use dead black
Y'all
bodies
not on black women. But like I said, how many black
organizations
and black individuals, prominent black individuals, then got over on our suffering, used our suffering as a commodity.
First of all, Umar has a building.
Yeah, you got a building.
He got a building.
See that rock he be laying, that red, black, and green rock?
He do.
That's a wild dude, man. Shout out to
Umar. While his videos be in the
greatest entertainer of all time.
He be at the top lot. He be doing videos live from the top lot, videos live from the passenger seat of somebody's car, videos live from the mall. I'm like, dog, you got the most random places you do videos.
We should.
And why does he repeat himself like 5 times? Isn't it suspicious? Isn't it suspicious?
Repetition is the essence of propaganda.
He's hilarious.
Repetition is the essence of propaganda. Repetition is the essence of propaganda. That's why you know what, man? Yourself.
You should make a.
To drive it home.
You should do a TED talk for cult leaders.
I actually do want to start doing more to address cults. Scourge of the black community.
I feel like that's one of your callers, man.
Is that a leather bag?
I don't know.
Shame on you.
Hey, man, I'm not as evolved as you.
Shame.
It's fake leather. I ain't buy no real leather.
Oh, good. I saw you eating them lobsters and steaks online.
It's my birthday, dude. My lady bought that. The black woman bought
cow that you ate also had a birthday. It also had a mother.
Don't nobody care but you.
All right.
And a bunch of other greenies.
Go vegan.
I told you I'm transitioning.
Liberate
man.
That. I'm talking to the listeners.
I'm transitioning, man.
I'm talking to the listeners. I'm gonna pray on it. Ask that the Lord touch your heart. Anyway, let's wrap up.
Politics and bullshit. It's been another one.
Radio, Q4.org every Wednesday.
Have a great St. Joseph Simp Day. Have a great non-freedom day.
Juneteenth. I mean, people are telling me I got to be nicer. I can't be dissing people's
and you
beliefs.
Still have not heeded their advice. So
no, I'm so
don't
much
start
better.
now.
So much better.
Are you?
Yes. You just read that poem. I used to be an angry black man.
All I heard was passion.
Hey, you got leather, and I'm here.
It's fake leather
with a old canvas backpack.
Fake leather,
man.
Fake leather.
Falling out. You going to get in a nice car?
Quiet,
I'm getting
man.
into an old broke down Ford.
I
ain't telling people what kind of car you got. I'm not putting your business out there like you did
Poe,
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, man,
I'm not gonna do you like you do Black Lives and Matter until how hard you ball. I'm not gonna do you like that. All you know
is I drove in 98-degree weather.
Oh, I love this weather, man.
You love this weather?
Melanin on fleek, melanin popping. I was out at the lake shore.
I saw you
with my toes in the water. Man, I love this weather. Out. This is the weather that gave birth to the African.
Man,
it's the closest we get to Africa in a foreign land on these wonderful tropical Chicago summers. Yes, 99 degrees.
Tough on the engine, man.
Look at it. The melanin.
It's popping.
Watermelon. Hydrated.
You look shiny like Steve Harvey's abs.
Shea butter. All right. With
Politics and bullshit. Q4 Radio.
All right, y'all.
Keep being black and beautiful. We out.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Let's go out on some.
Play some, man.
Hey. Oh wait. Sorry.
Karanga clause.
Karanga might pull up on us too.
Dashing through Kemet.
Where's the
dashing through
Egypt?
Here it is.
Okay.
Karanga clause all the way.
All right, here's some outro music. I'd have to spend on that. You know, man, I got source. Good night, y'all. Peace.